Hello everyone, welcome to Ready Steady Crit. I'm your Dungeon Master Harna, and joining me is my usual rigmarole of spacefaring adventurers. Let's kick it off by the person who knows the least about dragons, and then we'll work our way up.
I'm gonna go then. I'm Will. I'm playing Volg, the Jerker.
Your favorite enemy is dragons, Volker.
Volker, he's not really. He googled them once.
Cool.
Are we talking characters or players?
Yeah, but we need players because like it's funny, but like also it's funny that like Will's like I'm an expert on my favorite enemies is dragons. Like what's a dragon? Will's like I have no fucking idea. Can I make a history check or something? You tell me. You're the dungeon master. You tell me what a dragon is.
What is a dragon in your world? There we go. There's a solution. I don't know what you classify.
Volker's just glaring at every like fucking pigeon that flies past. Like yeah.
Is the butterfly meme? Is this a dragon?
Is this a dragon?
It's like when we meet a beholder and just let's just go fuck with Volga. Just goes that's a dragon.
Which leads to what do you think a dragonborn is? What fucked your wife, Volker?
Anyway, Will's the least dragon knowledgeable. Who's next?
Hi, I'm Mary. I play Astra the ASMR Cleric, and I don't know what I say my name, and I'll pass on to the next.
You play a dragonborn in another campaign.
That's not a dragon.
I'll go next. Hi, I'm Anthony. I play Barris Darkruth, the Satyr Rogue, and I'll pass it on to my next dragon-loving
I'll go
friend.
next because I'm not willing to sit here in silence for the next 3 hours. Even though I think in a historical fight I could beat Ryan for Dragon Facts.
Possibly.
But I am
depends. Are we
George.
talking
I
D&D
play
or are we
Atlas
talking
Moreau,
fantasy?
the Owlin Druid, and I will pass it on to the man who cries every time he watches Dragonheart.
Yeah, that would be me. Hello, I am Ryan. I play Cyrus Revenmar, and I have a deep nostalgic love for dragons.
Let's also not forget he's the only person I think out of the five of us that have actually played a dragon in a campaign.
Terran
he got
polymorphed
polymorphed?
himself.
Terran was a
Terran
dragon
yeah,
for a
himself into a
significant
dragon.
amount of the later campaign, purely because they strong.
Yeah,
He
he's
is
like, hey,
strong.
I'm gonna be a gold dragon for
He
this
also
fight.
had 3 different pet dragons. Terran was pretty dragon-centric.
It explains why you two are at the top then.
4
One was
if you
meant to
count
be
Kaz,
mine.
which Terran
I
absolutely
wasn't gonna
did.
fight Ryan on that. I feel like I'm bottom of the list here.
I like dragons.
They're
Me
fun.
no dear.
If you
That's cool.
want,
And owls.
I could do a CBBC quiz. How much you know about dragons? We can go question for question between Ryan and George. See who gets the furthest.
Oh,
I'd rather
God.
play Dungeons
God.
and Dragons.
Sam, we could do that.
I'd be so scared to lose.
For a while, D&D just
Lose
wouldn't
your
happen.
dragon crown.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know if we start that and one of them loses, they'll be like best out of 2, best out of 3.
We'll do it later. Let's play Dungeons and
I'll
Dragons.
bookmark the tab and we'll come back to it.
Have you actually found one?
I mean, yeah, you just type Dragon Quiz into Google.
Let's Google Dragon Quiz. It's very easy. Ryan, stop googling Dragon Quiz and cheating.
See, if it's pop quiz based though, if it's pop quiz based, I'm doomed because I'm just there like I have never seen a movie.
No, this one is like dragons historically.
Well, I might
It doesn't matter. 'Cause I'll have to find a different one because Ryan's gonna look that one up and cheat.
I haven't. I
He's a
just looked
cheater.
up D.
Maybe-
And as soon
maybe-
as I typed in D, you were like, stop typing, and I was like, damn it.
I see all. I'm the DM. But he
Maybe
wants to remind
that's
us what
the
happened
thing.
last time.
Like pop culture wise, Ryan wins on dragons, and historically wise, I win on dragons.
So we will share the dragon.
We can share the
Share
dragons.
We did some trading. We beat up some dragons.
But then we decided
no.
we were like kind of chill with them too. We beat
Yeah,
them up
we did.
enough that they were like, "Oh fuck," and we were like, "Yeah, we're gonna come board your ship and rob you." And they were like, "There was like 100 more of us," and we were like, "Okay, just give us some stuff then.
And knowledge. Give us some knowledge.
Give us some knowledge and guns." And they were like, "Okay, here's some knowledge and guns. Can we have like some food?" And we were like, "Yeah, okay."
And then we left them.
Then we bippity bob booped ourselves into the next place. We can tell what things are now because they gave us some uploads. And then a
we're
dragon
heading
was
to
like,
Planet
"Yo, you wanna
Harmony."
come hang out at my station?" And we were like, "Sure." And then we started flying down there, and then there was a mist, and it was like everybody's sparkly and nice except Cyrus, who is covered in ghosts now. and also Tewa, who is covered in ghosts now.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, you guys are currently traveling towards Harmony Station.
She's
Is how it
trying
reads
so
in
hard to
common.
make it squeak.
Harmony Station, how it reads in common. As you kind of see this grand, majestic space station, kind of like coming on, like now from not just on your scanners, but like come into your actual what you can see with your own eyes. You see it orbits the moon Viridia. It is this blend of kind of ancient draconic architecture with maybe some like advanced celestial engineering in there as well. It's like elegant, smooth curves, golden accents that almost have like an organic feel to it. And yeah, you kind of see there is a long, stretching kind of like dock that like you could like dock on and then presumably travel the length of. And there are, you know, a good few ships here as well. Like I kind of briefly touched on before, there are most likely some kind of like trading facilities here on a ship on a station this large, but there also seems to be like diplomatic or like cultural quarters. Maybe you're not entirely sure, just based on what your initial kind of like readouts were of the station itself. You know that the main trade nexus of the Draconid space was actually on Tholoria Prime, which is his planet. But Harmony did invite you to come get some repairs, and seeing your ship taking some damage and recognizing it as a amalgamate ship.
They also realized that we spared their kin, and they were like, that's why they're being chill. Because we're like, we heard about you. We'll fix you since you didn't kill all them people.
I don't think Harmony mentioned that she'd heard about you. Not to my knowledge. That's okay.
No,
I
don't
think
remember
that he said if you mention it.
Yeah, he said like, oh, if you said, yeah, the captain said that if you tell, you know, like another dragon ship like that, they might spare you. Might that might help. Like, you know, if you say, oh, we spared the Inferno Talon crew, like, you know, they might, you know, have some good sway. But yeah, are you going to continue towards the station? Or are you going to go somewhere else?
Yes, so
There are other areas in Thaloria's system as well. There's Thaloria Prime, which has like the trade nexus, and like, you know, probably, you know, big like, you know.
Yeah, but we
embassies,
said we
things
were
like
gonna
that.
go to the station. We can't let that dragon down, even if Cyrus is
Yeah,
covered in ghosts.
You guys have got like you're about a mile away from the station. Now you
It's
can
a
see
little
with your
bit your
eyes
fault you're covered in ghosts.
the pearls and gemstones all begin to glitter and glow as well.
Can you stop gassing me with?
So yeah, are you
I'm
going
just
to
gonna
dock?
check the door's locked.
Yeah, we'll dock.
Okay. Yes, so you dock. As the Chimera like finds a suitable landing point, the docking stations here, they are kind of like how you've seen before. They are external. They're not like internal. You then would have to traverse an external like boarding ramp, which looks like it might be exposed to the Expanse.
Is
You
it
also
big
imagine you
enough
probably
for
could
the
take your
shuttle?
shuttle, closer if you'd like. We see these grand doors. They kind of say like, "Welcome to," as it's written in Draconic, but it'd say, "Welcome to Harmonithal Station."
Harmonithalis Station.
That's a mouthful.
We can take our shot down.
You bring in any of the Moreaus, Sunshine, Days. You leave them all aboard.
I'm leaving Tewa aboard because he's covered in evil ghosts, and I don't want to talk about it.
What, two people covered in ghosts is one too many.
Yeah, like that's suspicious, you know. Just one guy covered in ghosts. It's like everyone's got an evil friend. And now everyone's considering who their evil
So
friend
just taking
is.
yourselves.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Days will comment. There's probably like work to do in the ship and stuff. And she's like, "Sunshine, you need to give me a hand with this. A lot of heavy lifting to do." And like, you know, they'll be doing what they can on the ship itself. Eventually, you do get the shuttle and you follow the kind of like ramp all the way down to the main station itself, where there is a smaller little like parking area just slightly just on the interior of that main door, which is like semi-airlocked. It has these like glowing golden kind of like force fields in a sense that kind of like seem to keep the atmosphere in. As you touch down and look around, you don't see any ships that do not look at least Draconid or at least Celestial. You're probably the only amalgamate ship, and you do garner some looks. You see there is a quick scan of the little ships as you kind of fly by Cyrus and everyone else. But Cyrus, you would recognize there's at least one Devil ship here. Not a big one, probably no bigger than the Chimera, like a small like, cutter kind of size.
Just a little devil.
Other ships you guys would probably recognize. There's at least one ship that likely belongs to a Kobold Atlas you would recognize, like kind of similar design elements. They're kind of hodgepodge and mishmash.
A shitty ship.
They kind of look like
Little trash
dragon.
ship.
They kind of look like dragon ships that have been like upgraded, but maybe not for the better. They kind of look like dragon ships
They're,
that
they're
like kind of
pimp
turn into
my ride
caravans.
dragon ships.
Yeah.
They're like,
There
we
would
put
also be at
6 more
least
thrusters on this thing. Let's see what happens.
there'd be at least 2 celestial ships as well here, which are these like larger, kind of like ethereal like vessels, probably being piloted by maybe like either actual like higher celestials or maybe just Asimar. You'd have to investigate and see. Lots of Dragonid ships, lizard folk ships, Dragonborn ships, all quite common as well. Similar to the ones you saw before and the talents in front of you done combat with previously, all kind of docked here as well. But that is probably it for most of them. You don't see any bird folk ships, but most bird folk who are traveling do so by smaller means. They do have larger vessels, but they're not as common.
Who needs wing when you have wing?
The shuttle touches down, and like you see this real eclectic look at people, like kind of drawing your eye, and mainly, like I say, probably about 70% of which are all you would associate them with Draconid space. You see, there's a couple of like Tabaxi and Leonin, and also some Gnolls as well, who are like appear to be offloading like supplies from one of like these like draconic shuttles, and they appear to be in like looks like old uniform of maybe the Draconid Concordat at a time.
Do any of them have ghosts?
Looking at them,
Just the devil ship is the only ship that's like
Just
radiating
surrounded by
ghosts.
ghosts.
Devil Ship is definitely radiating the similar kind of like haunted, demonic like entities that the nebula kind of like form. This opalescent nebula, definitely kind of form that kind of like thing around the Devil Ship, 100%. And probably one of the Celestial ships as well. But apart from those, no one else seems to be drawing any untoward attention.
Iris, can you stop that? Like, stop
That's-
being surrounded by
fine.
demonic ghosts?
I don't know how it was
Kinda
turned
creepy.
on. I don't know how to turn it off. I don't think it's me doing it.
Just, like, focus. Focus on it.
Focus on what?
I
No ghosts?
don't know, not having ghosts around you.
I don't know what's
Because-
causing the ghosts around me. That
Do
alone.
they look-
Angry?
Do they look familiar? Are they like people that you've killed?
No, they're faceless and formless.
Maybe you killed
They're
a lot of
ghosts.
faceless, formless people. We don't know what you were up to.
Mm.
You were
Maybe
on
they
a
were
war front. I imagine you killed a lot of people.
They might have been faceless by the time we were done with them, but I don't recall any faceless people.
Also, if it's by the time you're done with them, Tewa would just be surrounded by a bunch of, like, meat mulch.
Just viscera. Ghost viscera.
And now I'm just thinking of the, here's your captain. Well, let's
Shall we
go
disembark?
see if we can sort out some repairs, some trades, and maybe find out why Cyrus is covered in angry ghosts. Have you been here before? Did you piss someone off?
No, I don't think so.
Did you do racist
No.
comedy here?
No. Do you think the racist comedy led to the ghosts?
Maybe.
Oh, if that's the case, what comedy has been Tewa been doing? Just in the ship.
Again,
doing it
we
to
don't know
his
what
horde.
Tewa was getting up to before we found him.
He was a gladiator entertainment creature.
Maybe he was also telling jokes.
Maybe that's why they imprisoned him and started to attack him.
Stop doing
He was-
comedy shows.
Elvish jokes.
Maybe. But yeah, if you guys dismount your shuttle, it doesn't take long for a couple of these like dragonborns begin kind of making their way towards you. Looks like they definitely are on the set coming towards you. I would say it's pretty easy to identify that. However, you would have time if you'd like to slip away and go see what else the station has to offer before they can quite get to you. There is directions, and those who speak Trotta can help point out. There is diplomatic quarters, cultural exchange center, the main trade halls, and probably other areas that maybe
I'm
aren't as
finally
clearly
going to be in that
signposted.
situation of shit, I don't speak Elvish, but the other way round. I actually speak Draconic. It's finally useful.
See,
I don't
see,
speak Elvish or Draconic. I'm still in the same situation.
I'm in the wrong mindset because I almost said Finnegan and then nudges, and I was like, no, wrong character. Wait 1 second. Volgir will nudge Beros and just point at the trade center and just go, trade.
Atlas, as the Dragonborn approach,
Oh,
will
no.
We've got to get the ship repaired first.
Oh, I know.
As
I'm
the
just saying.
Dragonborn approach, Atlas will stand in front of Cyrus to try and hide the fact he's covered in ghosts, and it will do absolutely nothing because he's like 2.5 foot taller than her.
Yep. You see the Dragonborn. They're not quite matching in the sense that they're wearing a uniform, but they do both wear kind of like similar looking attire. Both of them in kind of like jumpsuits with like kind of like a tan kind of like color with like white undershirts.
Do
However,
look like
they are.
care?
Hmm?
Do they look like they care about Cyrus?
You mean inside check?
Do they look like they care
Atlas.
about anything?
Atlas, Cyrus, ghosts.
That's a crit fail for me, which
it's
is a 9.
5. It was a 5 for me. I didn't crit fail it. I only have a +2.
They have a pretty pretty hard to read look on their face to most of you. Astra, they appear to have like at least taken note about Cyrus, but they don't appear to be immediately
Do you think it's harder to
beset
read
upon him.
like lizard folk and dragonborn because they got like lizard faces?
Probably a little bit more challenging. Yeah, the emotions of are displayed like differently.
I feel like Atlas is probably hard to read emotionally because she's got like bird face.
It's quite literally like trying to pick up on like the signals a dog might give. Like maybe when a dragon is angry, like they like widen their eyes a bit more, or like as opposed to like furrow a brow, things like that.
I hate trying to draw Atlas scared in any fucking drawing because it's like I widen her eye. Damn, already such big eye.
But yeah, you kind of see these images move towards you. There is one copper dragonborn and one bronze dragonborn, and they approach. And
Every time you say copper, my brain is just like a policeman, but you're being like old-timey British about
copper
it.
is in the metal.
I know, but my brain is immediately like old-timey policeman dragonborn.
a copper dragonborn comes to you. G'day, Governor.
All right,
Hello, what we got
yeah,
here
and that's
then?
exactly how he talks. Well, look at what we have here. A couple of amalgamates have just turned up here in the then station. Which one of
Is
you
he
might be
speaking
there in
Draconic?
captain then?
That would be
Wow.
Barry over here.
All right, Mr. Lightshoe, is that yourself? Based on the documentation we've seen? Hello? Sir?
Barry,
Dun, dun,
where
dun,
have
dun.
you gone?
I think your captain's brain dead.
No, don't worry.
One
he's just
second,
in that
let me
biscuit
solve
stand
that.
He's
over
just
there,
buffering.
You've seen a
Just look for
biscuit stand.
Coma, he'll be
We
back.
will walk over with a biscuit and just start wafting it under
Like
his
smelling
nose.
salts.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Give
we
him a
will,
minute. It usually wakes him up.
we will assume that Beros will, introduce himself and yourselves, and the dragon. Well, here he comes,
Oh, he's back,
rushing back
he's
his feet.
back.
He's not got the
Oh,
headphones on. He
mention
doesn't even
biscuits
he doesn't
like
even know
he
what
did.
he's missed. Doesn't even know what he's missed.
Barry, come on!
They've just started attacking us, and they're going to kill you first.
Alright,
Oh, I
focus.
see.
Cookie, focus.
Cookie in front of your
stabbed them.
face.
You stabbed Beros stabs one of the guards. Ow, fuck! No, but Beros, these individuals, they're basically just like came over and they were asking who the captain was effectively. And your crew all pointed to you, and you were a bit glass-eyed.
So we gave you a biscuit.
That was
Wave the
me,
biscuit.
Captain Barry Lightshoe. Do we have a problem?
Oh no, not at all. Just the Grand Meister would basically like to communicate with you if you'd like face to face.
Sure. I see no problem with this.
Perfect. I'll take you directly to Hominothal's lair then, if you'd like to follow me.
All of us or just
Sure.
him?
All of you can.
I
Don't
wanna
see why
go.
not.
I've never met a dragon. Anyone met a dragon?
I
No.
haven't.
Technically, no.
Well, that's
Technically,
fine.
no.
We can go over a
large.
few do's and do nots on the walk there. It's a bit of a trek with a lot of stairs to go down. Just this way.
Why is there always
Atlas's
stairs?
enthusiasm drops immediately.
He leads you towards
You can
the
fly.
Cultural Exchange Center signs.
That's not how flying works.
And in one of these like larger kind of like areas, like this big wide like lobby area, there is a huge golden filigree disc on the floor, which he goes up to the middle of, where there's a little console, and you see he connects his draconic hollow strap to it, which you recall they are the more like kind of like long pointed edges, kind of similar to like a dragon's eye kind of shape. And you see they enter a few digits on there and remove the cable, and the golden filigree begins to twist and shift, and they begin walking off it again, kind of like stepping on, like, oh, just stand behind me, please, folks. Shouldn't take too long. And you watch as this golden disc almost begins to move like water, as if like the metal had been heated like to mercurial almost. And then it begins to fall downwards like a water whirlpooling vortex, forming like a ramp or staircase, leaving this like perfect hollow in the middle. And the hollow is probably about like a good 25 foot across. The whole thing probably is about 40 foot wide, the whole actual discus. So there's a good 10-15 foot wide stairwell that kind of winds its way down deeper into the station. This way. And the copper one begins leading off. The bronze one kind of follows behind. You see she's a bit more quiet and reserved, but she's, you would see Yastra. She's definitely keeping a keen eye on Cyrus.
Shady bitch.
Me or her?
No, you. You're a shady bitch. You're covered in ghosts.
Okay. I don't know why that is. All right. Leave me in my ghostly condition alone.
As you kind of head
Maybe
down
you
here,
could
you
go
descend for
somewhere.
probably about 60 foot or so. And you feel the air begins to change from that almost like it's air that you're used to on a space station. It's that almost cold and clean and sterile air. But as you get deeper and deeper here, after about 60 foot or so of descending, the air turns to that almost like a gentle warmth. Not just like that heated by an open fire, but that of like a summer breeze. It's that warm air that just cuts through, and just it doesn't leave a chill down your spine. It just gives a pleasant sensation, kind of as it flows through your hair and over your skin. And you swear there's this soft sound of almost like wind chimes that echo along with the breeze as well. Eventually, after another about 30 foot of descending, you see that this stairwell, if you could call it that, spills out onto the floor here, and this opulent chamber lies before you. There are many large, it's like a big vaulted kind of alcoved area, probably about a good 50-60 foot high, and it's large. It's probably about the width of the whole station itself, this huge area, to account probably for the one who kind of currently sits in the middle of it. The walls have some windows that look out across the actual Florian system. However, most of them are covered in huge tapestries and paintings, or mounted ancient relics and weapons and treasures from all across the Expanse, many of which you're sure probably hold some kind of historical significance. You also see that in these large alcoves there are just piles and piles of gemstones, gold, a true hoard to bequeath, probably in the guts value of about 300, 400,000 gold pieces or so, in what value of just the actual
But what's the challenge?
materials you can see.
Again?
And then the art objects and things on top of that probably worth even more again. But kind of like dominating the center of this space, actually like surrounded by large terminals. You see like projected like celestial glowing from celestial technology. You see these little like screens and things like all around her, and you see sat on quite literally a giant spinny chair, like a computer chair. There is this huge ancient gold dragon. She's got her wings aren't really wings, they're more like frills that start at her neck and just go and flank all the way down
Is
her
she sat
body.
on the giant spinny chair like a person would sit or like a cat would sit?
She does have arms and legs, but they aren't like, maybe as like quite standoffish as one might be on a traditional dragon. Like the focus is definitely on her big coiling wings, and the wings like connect basically from her neck all the way down to the base of her tail, which is kind of like wrapped and snared around the arms and like that. And like she's almost like resting her chin on her tail itself, as she kind of like is like slumped there. She's not sitting straight up. She's not sitting straight up. She's kind of like more like slouched over, like leaning against it, like tail resting on the arms.
She's just chilling.
Yeah, she's just chilling, and she's you see she's looking at a variety of You see she's looking at like a variety of things on the various terminals and things like that as you kind of get closer, and she spins around to see you, and you hear that familiar kind of voice ring out, now not over your speakers but in the room, and it echoes and thrums in your very chest as she speaks, as just the volume and projection that she has is enough to quake the air in your lungs. Hello there. So good of you all to come down here. Please, make yourself comfortable. There are some cushions, or if you'd rather sit on the floor or stand, by all means.
You heard the big dragon, make yourself comfortable, and Barros will just dive into a pile of pillows.
Yeah, there's like almost like big almost like autumn leaves swept up of just a variety of different like plush velvet pillows and things like that. Like yeah, almost like a mini hoard in itself,
More pillows.
Astra
Cyrus,
gently
stop
sits
being
herself
covered
down
in
and hugs
ghosts.
the pillow.
I don't know how to stop the ghost, okay? Stop drawing attention to the ghosts. And then Cyrus will sit down on like a puffy chair.
Yeah, you sit on like this big like soft like
Like a beanbag.
yeah big beanbag chair. You sink into it.
Ghost just gets swallowed by the beanbag.
Angry ghosts clawing out of beanbag.
Good. Yes, so perhaps I'm sure you have much to do, or otherwise you wouldn't be making such a perilous journey, I'm sure. But we, I suppose probably a simple solution is, what are you doing all the way out here? No offense, but it is dangerous for you all, is it not?
It's kind of a long story, but we're basically trying to get some people back to where they're from.
Pretty much that.
Very well, admirable of you. Well, I noticed that your ship, I don't recognize its ID because it's not registered here, but I noticed it has taken some damage. I assume that is a bit of your perilous journey to get here. I've already asked some of my more advanced engineers on the station to have a look at it and see if they can offer any repairs or give some assistance. I can't promise that they'll be able to do anything for free, but they can certainly perhaps aid you if you have supplies, maybe make things go a bit quicker at all. But I'll have them meet you whenever you leave my lair here to go wherever it is you need to go. And don't worry about your Asimov friend. I'm used to dealing with those touched by the hells and their natural flaws, if you could call them that.
So those are hell ghosts?
No. Reflects their ambition.
Is it because he's angry? Is that our
Rage
grumpy?
is not exactly the the cause of them. It is more that they are willing to do things that others would consider
It's all the murder.
unjust.
Isn't it? They're murder ghosts.
Not murder.
Not
ghosts.
specifically murder, but murder would definitely lead to them eventually, if not good reason behind it, I suppose.
Volgy will just look at you, just like, knew it.
She said good reason.
She said that they'd appear if you didn't have good reason.
Yes. But don't worry, I'm not a judge of any past decisions or things you've done. That's not my purpose here.
Don't worry about that. We'll do enough judging for everyone.
Very well.
We're
Well,
gonna
if
be
you
sitting
are...
at that other table for a long time.
Well,
Or maybe we need a third table, an unjust
No,
murder
I think we
table.
need. I think he needs to sit in the shuttle.
No.
Oh yeah, let's make Cyrus eat all his meals in the shuttle like a sad divorced dad.
But yes, I do wonder, you are transporting people? Are you transporting them towards Thaxil, perhaps? Or are you looking to get out of Draconid space as soon as possible?
Yeah, we're trying to get to the Celestial Quadrant.
A shame. Ah, well, I can always wait for the next ones to come along.
That's what?
Well, if you were going deeper into Draconid space, I might have had some work for you. But if you don't, that's no issue.
We may have a reason to go there at some point. What reason might you have?
How
Or
familiar...
where would it take you?
My work that I have will take you to Thaxil itself.
Trying to. I now
Is
need
that
to
the one the
scroll,
guy
like, the
specifically
60
told us to stay away from, or was that a different place?
Is that not the one that's the sword specifically said he wanted to go back to?
Yes, Thaxil is the home world of dragons.
Oh, there you go. Go hang out with your swords family.
Well, if you are
Well-
going that way, I suppose I could perhaps at least give you the brief and let it run by you if it's something you might be interested in. How familiar are you with the metallic and chromatic war? If at all. You can simply say not at all.
Not
Didn't
very.
Volgy get like a rundown from his sword, a brief rundown?
Very, very briefly, but it wasn't. He didn't go into any much detail.
We've had the Cliff Notes version.
The cliff notes of the cliff notes.
Well, I suppose we'll have to start somewhat at the beginning. I'll keep it as brief as possible. It is over 1,000 years of conflict. But basically, a long, long time ago, about the guts of 1,200 and something years ago, we had a king and queen of dragons who ruled Thaxil itself, and it was seen as a good time. However, they came into a disagreement regarding their how to interact with the younger races of the galaxy as we naturally expanded. This was after the actual conflict with the amalgamate briefly. Whenever we first kind of were. Everyone was first kind of finding their feet, I suppose, is perhaps the true way to describe it. This is probably actually would have been just after the second Expansial War, not long after that, maybe about 1,000 years or so. Time is difficult for our kind; it flows differently than you all. But regardless, we had a disagreement internally between those who fell under the king, who basically had a opinion of he wanted to foster relationships with the new races, offering wisdom, guidance, and the chromatics, who saw themselves superior and believed that we should rule over the lesser races. We do, unfortunately, still have some of that throughout our society. Things like you may be familiar with the Tabaxi or the Knolls or Leonin. They would be lesser and more kept by chromats as well, in particular, in more of a enslaved situation. Their planet Zoik is held by us somewhat aggressively, I would say. But that is another matter, and tangents and all. But essentially, the god Alice intervened, and they removed both the king and queen from the equation. If history is to be believed, as poetic as Alice was, she turned them into the moons that appeared. One a solid platinum, and one a twisting cacophony of color. This is a partially folklore, as during this time there was quite bad meteor swarms, and we suspect that they may have simply just been byproducts of those hitting the planet. But regardless, the story holds, and the king and queen were removed, one way or another. The power vacuum there, tension grew, as did the disagreement, and skirmishes broke out, and eventually full-scale war without the king and queen there to kind of focus the fight internally. And for the last, well, nearly 1,200 and something or so years, we managed to keep that conflict on Thaxel. I myself left it some time ago to create where we stand now, Homontheal, my namesake. It is a place for me to get away from that brutal battle, and just I hope to remind my brethren that we were once prosperous together, and hopefully that by being together again we may find ourselves. I spent a lot of time on Zoik, and I found the god Pashal, the goddess of peace. The dog folk and feline folk do tend to, if it is believed, is their creator. I always thought it was ironic when you talk about the fighting of cats and dogs being fawned by a god of peace, but perhaps there's an interesting irony there. Regardless, this station is on as neutral ground as I can put it, as far away from any front line, as I don't think even the Draken is be stupid enough to move on Celestials. But in the last year or so, I believe supplies and orders from Thaxil have become very nearly ceased, if not entirely broken. The frontline troops who were stationed there as primarily a defensive force, now without any orders, or maybe a bit too afeared to return home of what they might find, and also following the last orders they were given, I think the commanders are a bit scared and desperate, driven by fear and compulsion. They began attacking amalgamate vessels or any traders who looked like potential threats or sources of supplies, things of that nature. I am trying to also reach out to the amalgamate and explain that these are, not to the wider arc. However, I don't hold any power or sway really on Thaxil to offer any assurances or any of that nature. But I do know some people back there on Thaxil. However, I am not overly welcome because of my... the Metallics would call me a traitor, and the Chromats would call me a coward. However, I choose to see myself as something different. I choose to see myself as someone willing to make change. This is a matter of a bit of a delicate accord. There was an old friend of mine, Argentum. He is a silver dragon leader, one of the leaders on Thaxil itself. And I would like to try to get him here to meet with me in somewhat private. He was always the most open, if I recall. I'm hoping I may be able to enlighten him to my vision of peace. However, my information that weans it back to me is that he is currently engaged in a long-running skirmish and pressure from a chromatic dragon general called Vermix, who basically is trying to escalate the conflict further. If you were on Thaxil, and if you could contact Argentum at his stronghold and convince him to meet with me here, it would be difficult to get there. The planet would be war-torn likely, and you'd have to avoid suspicion from both allies and enemies themselves. And if you can prove your trustworthiness to him in some way and get him to agree to come meet with me, that would be much appreciated. And I imagine to even have him leave before you even consider leaving, and this might help you earn his trust, if you could undermine Vermex, who operates nearby Autumn's stronghold. I'm sure they are in this close proximity. If you could distract or weaken Vermex, that might enable actual Argentum able to leave his lines temporarily to come meet with me, and also to give him the time to do it without too many prying eyes, I suppose. If you could achieve that for me, I could offer you something of my hoard here, a powerful magic item, or knowledge, or resources. And also, I'm sure you would make an ally with, hopefully, myself and Argentum. And I can, only say that the thrill of doing something good, or trying to at least, if you believe peace is the good thing.
Glances at Cyrus, covered in evil goats.
Wouldn't hurt to have a powerful ally against the squids.
Hi,
Well, they
speaking
just,
of, do you know about squid people?
Squid people?
Also known as Elithid.
They look mostly like people, but they've got like squid heads.
Tentacles coming out of their face.
They also got pretty creepy hands.
I can't speak for squid, however, a ship I gave refuge to before did have one individual who was quite unwell. They said he'd encountered something near the border with the Amalgamate's space. This was a young lizardfolk individual had been contracted some kind of disease or illness, in and out of consciousness, and it apparently had only come down in the last 24 hours or so, but before I could even send anyone to investigate him, by the time we got to the ship itself, it was a bloodbath. These large frog-like creatures, weren't familiar with them before. They had...
Slad.
Perhaps, I don't know, but if that is the name of them, then good to note. I shall log it, and you see she weaves something on one of her terminals.
Yeah, kind of exploding pustules.
Yes, they
Not too smart, but pretty tough.
They caused a minor outbreak among the neighboring vessels as well. However, fortunately, it seemed that because the Expanse didn't allow them to get any proximity to us, we were able to simply destroy them from afar and just purge them. A shame. We lost, I'm sure, many innocents as well. However, the safety of the station was paramount. But that is the only thing I can relate to, anything
Doing
strange.
what you had to do for the greater good. And Cyrus looks at us. Atlas.
The great,
He's not covered in
greater
ghosts.
good one. Yeah.
Do not worry, I'm sure if many of my brethren back on Thaxil came within close proximity to my station, they also would have a air of death and hauntedness that follows them.
Is there a reason for the does it serve a purpose, or did you just think it would be like
It is one of my
thematically fun?
natural abilities. Anywhere I call home, it does change it has an effect on the region. Same way, for instance, if any of you were to sleep within proximity of my station, I would be able to telepathically communicate with you or converse in your dreams. And the mist and also the pearls and gemstones glow, mainly because they are a food source of mine, so it's always nice to make them easy to spot.
expensive?
You say, looking at like thousands, hundreds of thousands of gold around
Initially
her.
expensive before you start hoarding.
Oh, well, yes, I suppose I can still make trades, and my knowledge and influence is beneficial.
So how time sensitive is this mission? Because ideally would not like to take the people we're traveling with to a war planet. They're not exactly the sturdiest.
No, let's drop off the non-combatants first.
Yes, well, I would hope that my mission would not take too long. The longer it goes on, the longer I worry that we will not be able to get a grip on that front line. And that is my real hope here. I know that I'm not going to bring an end to millennia of conflict simply by one meeting, but I'm hoping that Argentum may have the resources to at least help fortify the outside, in a sense, contain the conflict. This shouldn't be spilling on to other other organizations or other large people or other planets and things of that nature. This is a dragon problem that should be solved by dragons and our allies, not anyone else.
I mean, realistically, we could travel northwest, drop off the passengers, and then travel through celestial space to avoid Draconid incursions, and then get to
where we need to be. While they're having a chat, Volga will try and see if his sword recognizes any of the names. He'll just say some names and see what comes up.
Yeah, your sword goes. I recall Argentum. He was a silver dragon, if I recall correctly. The other doesn't ring much of a bell with myself, but there are many dragons on the chromatic side who it could be. I would imagine, based on the name, they are some kind of maybe black dragon, based on the terminology, but I'm not sure. Not one that rings an immediate bell. I don't think I knew him personally. Argentum as well. I had only heard of them being involved in circles. I didn't know them personally.
I'm sorry, but just Ryan's there as Cyrus. Like, I don't feel bad about murdering all those people, and your shirt just says, "Don't be sorry."
Don't be sorry. Be better.
Yeah,
Like you're wearing the God of War shirt.
Listen to your own goddamn advice, man. But yeah, just the way it cuts off perfectly is like, don't be sorry.
I got nothing to apologize for.
You killed a man in cold blood.
Thought I was doing something good.
You killed several men in cold blood. And
Apparently,
did
the
racist
Ghosties killed a lot
comedy.
more than a
We
couple.
have all killed several people in cold blood. You blew up a port with
That
a lot
was
of
an
innocent people.
accident.
Oh.
I'm not covered in evil ghosts.
Maybe you just don't
I had
feel
an
bad about
alignment shift that did change some things, but you don't know about that. I'm not covered in ghosts.
Maybe that's because I have more of a conscience than you
Is
do.
Astra glowy then, or is Cyrus just ghosty?
Ours is just ghosty.
Pretty sure Astra's good something. You just don't know where she falls.
Can you imagine if you yourself
Lawful
was a
good.
gold dragon and you did something and then just noticed ghosts around yourself and was like, oh shit. Am I evil?
Oh, that's gonna stain.
Just Snow White with that one black bit in her heart. Yeah.
Apologies. Dog was going bananas. Yeah,
Bananas for bananas.
Banana dog. Boop, boop, boop.
so Harmony or
Banana.
Monithal will basically offer that out to you if you want to do that for her.
What planet is what system is the planet that she's asking us to go to in?
Pavo Borealis.
I mean, that's kind of like
so
back away.
yeah, we couldn't. It down. I was hoping it would be more closer to like.
Lingsan is where the like feline and dog folk are.
Okay. So I thought, boop, 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 yay!
And
But
also
no,
the
it's boop. Ah.
the Yuntai also live
I mean, we could
In
just drop
Newtown.
off the Morose real quick and then head back. Like, how
Unless-
long can that
unless-
take?
Is there any way that she could register our ship in the system as friendly?
Hey, we're chill.
Provide
We're
us-
chill. Stop trying to kill us.
Provide a safe passage
Yeah.
while we do this mission for her.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone can provide you safe passage in a war
Well, no,
zone.
safe passage. At least we won't be getting.
passage.
one of the
Hmm.
reasons why I would be sending you is because my name on Thaxel doesn't hold much weight. I do hold more weight up here in the Expanse. People who are now disconnected from Thaxil and forced to kind of live in the shadow of the ongoing conflict, do come by. However, I cannot assure any promise of, immunity or peace or anything of that nature, especially not
Gotta
on
drop my
Thaxil.
folks off first. We can't keep dragging them around the Expanse like this.
They've seen a lot in a few days. Slad, Illithid,
You guys.
us.
You with a bat, you that looks all ghostly,
Let the ghosts go, all right?
finding out how many people you've killed.
You don't even know how
Unjustly.
many people I've killed.
Probably a lot compared
will
to how many
physically
ghosts
start
are on
counting
you.
the ghosts.
I don't think the ghosts are each someone he's killed. I think they're just like a representation of him being evil, I guess.
Yes, the nebula
I think
doesn't.
it's inner demons.
It doesn't count as. It is not. It is not a matter of murder. It is a matter of personal.
Like if you had shoplifted enough, you would
Self-actualization.
still have ghosts.
Think of it as a way of an instant detection for anyone who is.
Can you de-ghost?
The only way for him to no longer have the ghost around him would be to change his internal morals.
Cyrus, try changing
means
your
he's-
internal morals.
I think.
I accept that there are some necessary evils, but unfortunately the mist does assume haunting forms around them. It is simply a side effect of being the
Like
one
Tewa.
such as good and true as myself.
Like
Yeah,
Tewa
Tewa's
had
an
ghosts
Esther
around
evil.
him, therefore is evil, but he is necessary to guard the hold.
I'm willing to
So-
make decisions that yous aren't. I'm necessary evil, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, sometimes I look at how the devils fight the demons, and I see two evils just simply destroying each other. It is quite beautiful to watch.
Cyrus knows all about that. He fought on the front lines of the devil demon situation.
Not
Evil
fun.
destroying evil. Well, thanks for the shelter and mission, I guess.
Yeah, so, like I said, I don't have any way to give you immunity when out there in the Expanse, especially in Draken space. You're welcome to use my name if you think it may aid you. If you say you are working for Homunthal, sorry, they may help you or may hinder you just as much. Typically, those of the more metallic side and their allies would be more likely to help you.
So if we see metallic, drop the name. If we see anything else, no.
That would be a very simple way of it. Yes, it is a bit more complicated than that, but very simple way. Yes.
Prefer simple. Don't like complicated.
Complicated is when you start getting stuff wrong.
I like complicated. Makes things interesting.
Well, like I said, I'll have some people go by your vessel and try to help you with those repairs. But thank you for your assistance if you do wish to continue this effort. If not, it is no trouble. I will send someone else. But if you do not wish to take it, simply let me know, just so I know to not be waiting. Time means little to me. However, the longer it takes, the longer it will negatively impact those from some of your homeworlds. She says, like looking specifically at like Beros and Volgir.
Does the Celestial gang's fine? Well, one homeworld is at constant war and the other one is covered in pollution, so one of the homeworlds is fine, I guess.
That we know of.
That we know of.
Shall we return to our ship?
Probably.
Is there anything else anybody wants to ask the dragon lady?
Oh, yes. Can you get us a Draconid trade permit? Ours doesn't really work in this area, and it might help us go into disguise if we get flagged as a Draconid trade ship.
You are more than welcome to trade in the trade halls here. However, the Draconid Trade Nexus, I don't have any direct connection to give out those kind of things. If you were able to help me with my mission, that is definitely something I could try to reach out in the meanwhile and organize as some kind of reward. Help me bring the conflict with the Amalgamate to an end, and I'll see if I can get the a trade permit sourced for you. Send someone down to Thalorian Prime. See what I can do.
Alis is never gonna believe that I met an actual dragon. If we do this mission, I'll meet like 2, maybe 3.
Do you have a photo capture?
Can I
on
take a
your holo
selfie?
strap?
Do you ask to take a minor illusion with the dragon?
Can I take a minor illusion with the dragon?
I'll say that if you're willing to spend a spell slot to take a minor illusion, 1 level, it'll cost you.
I don't think I have minor illusion.
Well, yeah, but the idea is you pump with your holo strap.
Okay. Yeah, I'll spend a first level spell slot to take a minor illusion with the dragon.
Yep, it'll it only it literally it is like a 2D minor illusion you get that is like reflected off your holo strap screen. However, all text in it is illegible. And anything that might be useful is basically fucking useless. It's more just like a memory.
It's for selfies.
It's a selfie thing, yep. Because it's not actually a thing it normally does. Yeah, you can take a selfie with Hormonthal. She throws up a peace sign.
That
That's
makes
what
sense.
it's all about.
There you go.
As
He'll
opposed to
believe you
Atlas, who would
now.
throw up devil horns and then drop one awkwardly.
As you
because
throw up
he-
a devil horn, like little ghosts appear around it.
Oh no! Ah! Looks cool though. If he ever speaks to me again, I feel like he'll get a kick out of it.
If you were to do a devil horn as in Cyrus inspired, it would have to be that.
That's what I was gonna say. That she does like devil horns and then awkwardly drops one because she doesn't want Cyrus to feel self-conscious. But then you're just pointing or being fancy. Depending on which finger you drop. Fancy. Which
Pinky's out.
horn does
Pinky
which
promise.
horn does he not have? Is he just like fancy or finger up?
He's probably finger up.
He's finger up.
Knowing Cyrus, it's finger up.
He is
Does that-
actually.
It's a left horn, so
But yeah, so as you kind of like finish up, if there's nothing else you want to discuss with Harmonthal, she will gesture to her associates, and she was like, "Please escort them back to the main station. Pleasure to speak to you all. If you need to reach me, if you rest here, you can dream of me. I'm sure it will be easy to think of someone as grandiose as myself. Or you can simply reach out to me via your ship's communications."
I'm sorry, out of character. If you need to reach me, dream of me is a sick pickup line, right? Like,
You dragon.
Oh,
Philipperson.
only works if there's magic, though.
yeah. Otherwise, you're just like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to ask Harmonthal at all, or?
I mean, there's probably a bunch of things we should ask, but you know, can't think of anything immediately.
Then she will get you escorted out of her lair. That's
Before we steal something.
fine. Do you want us to try to steal from a gold dragon?
I don't. I
No.
looked up their challenge rating while we were talking to her.
Kick your ass.
I didn't really need to look up the challenge rating to know that. Remember when I found out what a Garadash's challenge rating was and was like, that would immediately ding us to level 20. I'm not saying we should kill him, but I just feel like it's at least worth talking about.
No, it was never worth talking about. It was never an option.
Also, then he turned out to be a god, so would not have ended
You're
well on
glad
our
you
part.
didn't.
Instant level 25.
Instant death.
Instant
You
level
get-
1,
you-
build a new
bear in mind,
fucking
getting-
character.
Yeah, roll for initiative. So you're rolling for your character first, then, yeah? Because you remember when you got him below 25%, he went berserk.
Roll for initiative. Okay, let's roll 4d6. What? 4d6. Okay, and
It's like-
again, and again. Oh, I see what you're
It's
doing.
like, yeah, roll a d6, and another one, and another one, and another. Oh no.
Now drop the lowest.
But yeah, you're basically escorted back up to the main station itself, and the bronze dragon this time she goes up and she waves an arm. Her hollow sharp lights up, and the gold floor like slinks back up and forms this beautiful golden filigree. And when you look at it, you see it's actually like modeled like that, almost of a traditional minted dragon gold piece with like the head is that of a dragon. You see like a golden dragon's head as the head of the coin. That you kind of enter through this like giant, like 45-foot wide coin that lays in the middle of this lobby area. And the signs all around you of the rest of the areas in the station if you'd like to go anywhere else.
You guys want to go trade, don't you?
Always.
Well, we've got to make money somehow. It's going to be a long
Money,
journey to
love.
this.
Somehow we're feeding Barros's biscuit addiction here.
And the Chimera, which is pricey.
Yeah.
Bloody.
Yes, so you're gonna go seek at the trade halls?
Yes.
Perfect. The trade halls, as you kind of like follow the signs of them, you find they are located near the docking bays, which you see there are larger, like exterior access ports here that probably a ship could dock at. However, they seem to be done by things of appointment. So, like, you know, you basically have to book to basically have a slot here, which can allow, you know, like offloading and unloading of certain items and that kind of nature, as opposed to like ships all just gathered in one place. The trade halls themselves are massive. They could accommodate large gatherings, complex negotiations with multiple different like parties, individuals, high ceilings, wide corridors, big spacious meeting areas. It is functional layouts, kind of like enhanced by just general like tasteful decor. That kind of like, you know, reflects the rest of the station here. There's a hum of conversation, and kind of like, you know, a faint kind of like smell, almost like incense on the air. The heart of the trading area is this main trade floor. It's like this big open space where traders and negotiators are there, like discussing deals, exchanging goods, signing contracts, things of that nature. There are various stalls and booths, kind of like a con almost kind of set up all along, representing like various factions, corporations, displaying their wares and services. There are numerous private chambers for more sensitive or high stakes negotiations as well, kind of on the outskirts, along the actual main walls of the main trading floor. There is a section of the resource hub labeled the Resource Exchange Hub, which basically focuses on the trades of more like raw materials here. And there is also a regulatory office, which basically ensures that all trades kind of comply with Draconid laws and things like that, and also regulations of Harmony Station itself. Which kind of like dispute like, you know, resolutions and things like that. They kind of like, you know, if someone argues like prices or practices are incorrect, it basically, you know, it's kind of like a budsman kind of like thing. Probably, you know, put in place by the lawful good gold dragon who, you know, resides here.
Wanted to stop the traders beefing.
Yeah, any trades under her wing, she wants to be fair and, you know, that. So I will say that any trading done on Harmony, basically there is an air to make them more fair, is basically the general thing. So there will be any rules you basically make, basically they are always going to be a minus 10% either towards the like the 100% marker. So if you roll low, it'll probably be in your favor, but if you roll high, it'll probably not as good in your favor. So there'll always be an air to make trades more fair, and more honest, basically, is like the thing. But they can't obviously get every trade, but it's more, you know, it's kind of like reflected in that.
Okay. I will attempt to shift our Cyro serum.
Yep, your cryo serum, yep.
Yeah. Sweet. So. Persuasion.
Pretty
23.
good. No trade nexus benefits, unfortunately, but still a good roll.
23 is 1, 2, basic, so it drops to 115. Is that the?
Yeah, it just it
Yeah.
pulls you down towards the middle area to reflect the
That's
fair
fine.
trades.
You have more money. Oh, are we buying as well?
Yeah, he didn't take advantage, so you can buy if you want. But it will obviously be pulling more towards fair trades, but not like you have any fucking like discount anyway, so it might actually work in your favor.
Yeah. 8. 6. Oh no, sorry, it's 10. So 3 and so 6 either way. Energy shields. It's a shame. Can we use energy shields for ourselves?
These are just like supplies. So any price for like energy shields that you have, they would be reflected in things like the quick fixes or like the shield charges and things like that like Cyrus had. So yes, you could use them for yourself, but then they would be basically reflected in cost of those things.
Yeah, we just have to take them off effectively.
Yeah.
Whatnot.
The value, you just have to take the value off.
What do they? Yeah, I have to look into that. I suppose we could probably find some very good things that are handy.
Yeah, they're basically kind of like similar to shield boosters. Normally they cost, a traditional shield booster normally costs 2,000 chits, and they provide 20 temporary hit points to your ship's shields for 24 hours. You can only benefit from like one at a time.
I think we have.
So we'd have to take off like 2,000.
We do have
Yeah.
have a shield booster.
Yeah, Cyrus has one.
Oh no, I was just curious. Like,
yeah, if you needed one urgently, you could just take off 2,000 of your like trade goods and like
if we had them in our, it's like running down and handing you a load of parts and going, this is it, go hook it up, kind of thing. Is that it?
Best of luck, buddy. Bye.
See Volgear just coming up from below the hold and like ripping open like an Amazon box. Like I was gonna sell it at the next station, but
just comes out with like a what's the equivalent of like a 50 caliber machine gun, but in space warfare, just like, and you're just like, you've had that in the hold this entire time. Like as we're getting to
I was saving it for a rainy day.
There's 10 more if you want them. But oh, that was not good. That was really not good.
it will swing 10% in your favor though.
We find it selling at 390%. No, what was it? It's 390.
280. Sorry, 290.
Hmm. 200 bloody hell.
You can just leave it and just skip to the next station. Just you don't have to take the deal.
Oh, I definitely don't think we should be taking the deal on that one.
Not on 290% of.
Yeah.
That's why the trade ombudsman's there, You report that vendor. It's like, this is completely like awful prices. They make him pack up shop and leave. They're like, never come back here again.
Group of angry kobolds.
Yeah, they think like
packing
15 kobolds, like all there in a trench, going, hey, fucking non-dragonids, you bastards. They saw like a little they saw a satyr and a dwarf and were like, oh yeah, these are shield boosters. These babies, they normally would cost you, if you look at the buy them, 20,000 shits a piece. We'll do them for a low price of 10,000. What do you say? And that's kind of like literally what they're coming off of.
And we're just looking at them going, you fucking crazy. All right.
They're
so
like
at least
tourists.
We don't have to buy them.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah, no, I was 50-50 on whether we had to buy if we.
You never have to buy if you roll it, but it's more like that's the best offer you can find in that like time you spend in the station, basically.
Yeah.
We
I think to be fair, we're going to score, and then
Going to score.
we potentially might be coming back. So, we don't have to have trade items. I mean, it leaves a lot of cargo space. We could always just
Yeah.
buy some food supplies. Maybe see if we can find some charging packs for.
We also don't know what we're going to pick up in Squaw, because we could get wine.
Yeah.
Like the cheap wine. If the Maroons want us to move the cheap wine, we can do that.
Yeah, that's fine. While we're here, could I possibly see if there is any of the charging packs for the rifles that we've acquired?
Yeah, if you have a little look around, if you're looking for firearms. So the rifles that you guys have acquired, how many did you get in the end?
we have
40.
Or 14.
14 packs because
No, 14
14.
rifles.
14
2
rifles,
packs.
I think. Yeah, two cases. Like you got like
Yeah.
2 boxes.
Yeah, 2 cases.
Seven, and there were 7 in a
okay.
case. And these were the laser rifles, correct?
Yes.
Cool. Yep. So if you're looking for an energy cell, you are able to find. Just roll me a basic little like investigation check, basically. See how many you can find.
There's a 19.
19. So yeah, these are a little bit, in short supply, especially in the front lines, but as you kind of have gotten a bit further away from them, they're fairly abundant here. Roll me a D. Roll me a D100. 99. You basically find like a vendor more or less like the max stock he has is he has about 20 of these cells 20 of these cells for like being sold, and they're 15 gold pieces each for a energy cell, or the equivalent is 1,500 shits.
1,500 trips. Then we'll buy all 20.
Yep. So that is 30,000 shits.
Yep.
And yeah, you can load them. It is noted, Beros, that you are not proficient with firearms, just as a note. So it is a
Yeah, that's
straight
fine.
deck shot, but if you do manage to hit, it is a 3d8 radiant damage. It's a two-handed weapon. It needs to reload after 30 shots. And a reload is the energy cell is expended. So if it's half full, you're like, I'm gonna reload, the energy cell's spent. You can't like repack magazines or anything. It's not like if it was like the more modern weapon, like the more what we would consider modern, not futuristic in relation to our times. That's where you can like repack your magazines and things like that with bullets. Energy cells, they're like a charge-based thing, so they're either charged or not. And once you expel them, they're no longer charged. They lose charge.
They are not reusable batteries.
Yeah. It's kind of like you stick them in, and then if you use half of it and take it out, it's like a fucking disposable vape. You fucking throw it away. Like it's not good anymore. But they don't have like a time duration. Like you could load one in there and like leave it in there for 10 years, and like as long as the weapon was kept in good condition, it would still work. As long as it had shots left in it, effectively, as long as it had charge. Yeah, the range is 100, or 300 is the long range, and yeah, that's it. 3d8 radiant damage on a hit. Cool rifle. You could also probably if you wanted to buy a laser pistol or anything like that, they're one-handed. Or you look at acquiring one of those as well if you wanted buy anything like that, or if you're really going all out and try to find an antimatter rifle, look for those.
Could you train to become proficient, or would you have to take it as a feat?
So the best way to do it would be taking the feat that gives it. Otherwise, yes, you could train, but it would take I'm going to say a significant amount of time. Because normally you get weapon proficiencies.
Yeah.
I would say, I think even though There are feats, a couple of feats I think that give them. But yeah, I think there would be, you could learn what to use them after some time, but it probably would take like, it would kind of follow the same rules like learning like tools or like, you know, learning a language. Kind of similar to that. But it might take a bit longer or cost a bit more, just because it's a bit more useful, because a tool in a language is kind of a bit more subjective.
Cool.
But yeah, anything else anyone would like to do on Harmony Station?
Looking at. I spend too much time staring. See, I'm seeing if Volga needs anything at this point.
Are we giving up the scrap to bring the Chimera up to full health?
Yeah, if you want to
Just gain
sacrifice
lots
the
of
scrap, you basically you're not on the move, so it's not double cost. And the basically engineers and the Harmony Station itself will assist you, so they'll be able to basically enable you to basically not need to be present while the repairs take place. So they'll basically use your supplies and not charge you, but they'll like do the repairs for you.
So how much do we need to take off?
many
The
hit points?
Chimera's currently at 153, so we need
You've also lost 35 in the helm,
yeah.
need repaired,
So
and 50 in the engine. So that's 47 plus 35 plus 50. 132 points of damage to repair. So
I don't have the workbook up yet.
that would cost you. Did I say scrap was double the price? Isn't it?
Scrap was doubled if it was.
On
if
the
we were
move,
on
or is
the
it just
move,
direct? Okay, so if it's just direct, it would
It was
cost
time,
you.
yeah.
So it would be it would be 1,082 scrap.
Yeah, that lines up with what we've been paying before.
And
We've
it's
been paying like
gonna
600
cost
stuff.
the guts of like 11 hours repairs.
We need to blow up another ship, guys. Get some more scrap. We're down to 3,000 scrap.
That it's kind of like the it's kind of like the Black Flag like rules. Like if you ram a ship and break it in half, you get more like scrap wood and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you like take the ship, you get more rare resources. It's literally I've accidentally just put Black Flag mechanics in my thing. But yeah, I mean, you guys can very easily spend 11 hours here if you want. And like there are other areas on the station if you'd like to go explore at all, or you can simply just hang out in your ship and you don't have to.
Shall we go find something to eat and drink and chill a bit and maybe discuss the proposal?
yeah, that might be the best idea.
Maybe it'd be good to be a night off the ship as well.
Yeah, so there is the diplomatic quarters, or the cultural exchange center, or you could head back out to the trade hall. There wasn't really anyone like food vendoring at all that you saw in the trade hall, so maybe anything like that might be in one of the other areas.
Cultural would probably be the best bet to like get a drink and stuff, maybe. Unless it's like museums and shit, then it's maybe not. We could explore since we're here. We have time.
Yeah, I'm alright for walking around. See if we spot anything that catches our eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, so you go for a little wander. Do you want to head towards the cultural exchange sector first, or the diplomatic kind of quarters?
Cultural, I think.
Cultural?
Sure. So you're kind of heading towards the cultural exchange center. You kind of find yourself in this vibrant hub of activity. it seems to be like this area seems to be like dedicated like fostering understanding and appreciation like the diverse cultures kind of within like primarily like Draconid Expanse. It almost kind of serves as like a living museum, performance venue, educational facility, all kind of like blended into one. You see there are galleries, theaters, exhibit halls, each one kind of focusing on different races that all kind of fall in the Draconic Concordats like reach. So there's obviously the dragons there and the Dragonborn. There's also the lizard folk. There is the like kobolds, but there's also the less direct dragon kind. There are things like the Yuan-Ti and also the like the feline folk, so your Tabaxi, Leonin, and your like dog folk as well, who are like your gnolls. All kind of like, all represented of their own kind of uniqueness across the board. And it seems to be like, focusing on like, it seems to be very much, like how each one is, unique in its own right, and how, and there's even like, a few like fusions as well together. There are also like restaurants all done up in like different kind of styles. It's kind of like walking into like a food court like esque as well. Like, it's like, oh yeah, and like there's like a Subway and like a KFC and like, but it's
And a
like
noodle bar.
and this place does traditional dragon food, and this one does traditional like gnoll food, and like that whole kind of thing as well. So it's all kind of like to enjoy, and there's like, oh, there's like a yeah, you gotta try like, you ask like, oh, where's good? It's like someone's like, oh, you gotta try that like Tabaxi Leonin fusion place, it's great, and like it's like that kind of like, like very much it's like it's about highlighting every race and its abilities of its uniqueness, but also how when they come together, how beneficial it is as well. So you kind of got like the exhibit halls, the performance theaters, the like actual learning space themselves, and like the main kind of like the food plaza as well. I assume you head towards Food Plaza, because that's kind of what you're looking for,
Yeah.
unless you want to go learn anything.
Gross. Lord.
Time for well, maybe with the yeah.
Look, we went to a library once and then the whole planet died to squid people, so let's not risk it.
You go to the Knoll stand and they're serving tabaxi, and you're going, ugh.
You go to the Tabaxi stand, they're serving Knoll. Yes, so I mean, like, is there anything in particular that calls out to you? Do you want to see about like what kind of food the Yuan-Ti have,
No,
or
I'm just
lizard
imagining
folk,
like, oh
or...
no, don't worry, this is tofu Noel.
Yeah, I mean, like, so that, like, so there's also the races that are associated with the Draconic Concordat. So these are any that might draw interest to you. There's obviously actual Tabaxi themselves, the Tabaxi dragons themselves. There's also Dragonborn, Gnolls, Hadose, which are like these kind of like monkey people, kobolds, Leonin, lizard folk, Tabaxi, Yuan-Ti. Those are all under the umbrella of the Draconic Concordat. So those would be any of those individuals if you'd like to go check those out.
I think we should go see what Leonin eat, so we can see if Sunshine should be cooking more often or not.
We'll also
Or
bring
Sunshine
back
wants to
like
eat.
bring back a doggy bag. Hey Sunshine, here's some of your like home delicacies.
A kitty bag.
This is where we find out he absolutely hates his eggplant.
As I assume
Never been.
Volgir hates dwarf food.
No, Volgir likes dwarf food. He just hates that particular Dragonborn place and name.
Okay, do you want to go seek out a traditional Leonin cuisine place? Sure. So you kind of like you spend a bit of time.
A lot of meat.
Yeah. You look around, and eventually you see and you see it, and it's kind of like this. It has like a big sign at the front, and it kind of looks like a big like a load of like almost like thin grass, kind of like almost like all like laid out together, and then like above the grass, kind of like pushing it through, is the name. It says Savannah's Pride, and you kind of like see it's like a fairly like prestigious kind of restaurant here, and as you step inside, you kind of see it is all decorated in like a very what you could only assume is traditional. There's lots of like wooden like a lot of, like wood on the walls. It was like the cold like steels and golds you're kind of used to seeing in here. there is lots of like paintings of like these like big grasslands and like some jungles in the background and things like that. There is music, like traditional, like lots of like drum, like kind of like tribal music in the background, that kind of like fills your ears. And yeah, you see the tapestries depicting things like Leonin warriors, hunters, herds of wild animals. And you see that there are no individual tables. All the tables, these big communal tables that are all like kind of together. And seems to like encourage people to like to maybe be involved in sharing or communicating, or you're not entirely sure. It's kind of like lit, like, but it's like warm gold lighting, kind of like it almost feels like the warm glow of like the setting sun almost. And you are hit immediately as you step inside by like the earthy aromas, like grilled meats, spices, like freshly baked breads. Kind of like hits you all there. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, is it kind of like are we kind of crossing between like a Japanese style with an Indian kind of thing?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
I was imagining, I can't remember where it's from, but you know the places where they like come round with the meat?
Oh, like the Brazilian,
Yeah.
the Brazilian steakhouse,
like tableside service.
like fazenda kind of style.
Yeah.
And you cook your own steak on the grill in front of you.
Not quite like that.
No,
No,
that's
but that is like
hibachi?
Korean, yeah, Korean barbecue.
no, hibachi's the one where they do all the like shrimp in the pocket and shit, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, like if you like come in, you see like the little maitre d' kind of comes up to you. Quite a young looking Leonin girl. She's probably no older than like maybe like 16, 17 years old roughly. And she's like, "Oh, hi. How many of you? Just the 5 of you?"
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. I can squeeze you all in this table. If there's another table of people who just come in, they're not too far ahead. You can get in before the good stuff gets down. And she kind of takes you over, and you kind of find yourself sat down at a table. There's like a couple of Leonin here. There's a Tabaxi as well. There's probably like a couple of the lizard folk, and maybe like a dragonborn as well, kind of all eating together. And what's kind of weird is, before even like, looking at like how their ships were laid out, or even how there's always the vibe with the dragons and dragonborn and the dragon folk seem to hold themselves a bit higher above everyone else. Maybe not Harmony herself. Maybe she would be an exception to that. But definitely like some of the dragonborn definitely
Everyone
have a bit
else
of
is like,
pride.
"We're clearly
and confidence about
better."
However, all kind of being around this table, at least initially, you kind of get that initial air of it. However, you realize very quickly there's no menu. Food just starts to arrive at the table.
Yeah, they're bringing the meat.
And it just kind of being put down in the middle. You all have like this like banana leaf in front of you. There's no cutlery. There's no plates. It seems to literally be like a grab with your hands. Like you got a leaf if you want to like keep your own stuff in front of you and just eat. And yeah, and it's like a variety of meals come out and drinks as well. When the drinks come out, they come out in big jugs, and there's a real big mix and match. And you kind of like. The first courses are a bit like smaller. There's like, a little like stew comes out made of like something like gamey meat with berries and root vegetables, with like a rich spice broth. There's like some little like flatbreads as well, which come out with like a herb butter and some seeds on them as well, and like some hummuses and things like that. The first kind of drinks that come out as well, it seems to be this traditional spice liqueur, which is like, you're not sure, it's maybe kind of similar to like, I guess trying to convey it's probably similar like most like chartreuse nearly. It's like almost like a very herbal kind of liqueur. And it kind of comes out like this big jug, and like you've all got these like small little like wooden cups like to like drink from. And the Leolans at the table kind of like make an effort of trying like to. There seems to be like maybe unwritten rules at the table that no one's really addressing. Things like the Leonins will reach for the breads and they'll like put hummus on them and they'll pass it to like someone next to them. Like it's almost like as if they're like sharing out. Like no one's really serving themselves. Everyone's making effort to serve everyone but
Atlas
themselves.
is firmly serving herself and only herself. If anyone touches food and then offers it to her, there's no way in how she's eating that.
Even the Leonin like pours a bit of like the spirit like in your little wooden cup if you want. Like he pours it and everybody asking just does it. And they like and like conversation naturally kind of begins to happen. Like
Sigh, pass the cup to Barros. The garbage disposal of the group.
Barrows will humbly accept.
Volgir will be sat as far or not opposite from the Dragonborn as possible.
Yeah.
And trying to avoid taking anything off the dragon.
Does Cyrus get any funny looks considering he is accompanied
Covered in
by
ghosts.
ghosts?
No one really seems to bat much of an eyelid at this. Maybe
They
initially
either
there's a
don't
bit of
care or they're
hesitation, but-
politely ignoring the fact
Yeah.
you're covered in ghosts.
and
I think
it
Astra's-
becomes very apparent that no one at this table speaks common. Like no one apart from you guys.
I can try a little bit of Draconic.
Astra's making a little stockpile for Sunshine to bring back.
Wrapping it in the banana leaf.
Yeah.
Atlas will try a little bit of Draconic and a little bit of Celestial to see if they speak either of those.
Yep, if you speak in Draconic, everyone, even the like Tabaxi and Leonin, they all speak Draconic. Draconic seems to be their common. Here. And basically you can, communicate roughly back and forth through that. But what you kind of saw initially as like this group
Stop
of
trying to touch my food.
it's like you see like one of the like Leonin who introduces himself as Yakar. He's like, oh no, it is normally we like to this stew. This is traditional. My mother used her church stew is really really good. It's nice and spicy. But it's traditional to share. And we like to give to each other as opposed to helping yourself. It's not. It is to. It removes the fear that you are taking too much for yourself. It is to stop anyone accusing you of being greedy. By people giving it to you.
I'm not afraid of that. Stop touching my food.
Okay, if you don't want to share, that's fine. And you see he turns attention to the other ones. And like, maybe not with Atlas, but at least among everyone else, maybe perhaps they've done this before, it becomes very clear that the lizard folk and the dragonborn
Atlas
here
will
together.
explain what they're doing, but we'll still get angry if anyone tries to touch food that she's trying to eat.
It becomes very clear the lizard folk and dragonborn are here together, who are introduced as Slithar as the lizard folk, and Zarath is this dragonborn, this big bronze scale dragonborn. They're here together, and the Tabaxi and Knoll, Whispering Breeze, and Krognar are here together as well.
Love you, Krognar!
And Kayla and Jakar are the Leonin couple as well, and they're all here. But like, it seems like you're all kind of like, no one came as a group apart from you guys. Everyone else is like couples who've all kind of been sat down, and they're having like a lot of conversation, like, oh, so what do you do? And like, there's a lot of back and forth and things like that. And yeah, and there's a real, like, what started off as a bit like snooty, and like, whenever like the Knoll serves something to the Dragonborn, you see he like, kind of like Alice, he like brushed it off the banana leaf like dismissively initially. And as the meal kind of goes on, the main courses kind of like begin to come out, you kind of see these like big steaks that come out, which have like been marinated in like these big herbs and spices, and they've clearly been like fire grilled over like an open flame. They're served with like root vegetables, so like a tangy like baobab fruit sauce, and like a big platter of like fish fillets and like honey glazed birds, and it comes out a variety of like nuts and grains, things like that are all kind of like shared again out throughout the table. Nothing is served to anyone in particular, and with the main course, a honeyed baobab brew is kind of like served, which is like a non-alcoholic drink, which is really really sweet. It's got like a really fruity like floral kind of taste to it, with like almost like a hint of mint, and it's served kind of like chilled in these big jugs filled with ice. And again, like lots of sharing, going back and forth. If anyone wants to ask anything in particular.
I think as Volgir he's a bit hesitant at first, like taking the food, not really handing so much back, and then he starts getting to the swing, starts throwing things, like not throwing things, but handing things
He's
back
like
across.
handing things to people before they finished what they're eating. It's like, oh, okay, Atlas is still upset if anyone tries to give her food, but we'll give other people food. And also, is there like... And he's acting like it's fine that he's covered in ghosts, but like, surely that should be a wake-up call that your actions are not good for you. Which
While
Cyrus has
passes-
no idea what he's saying.
Like, Atlas is saying this to the Leonin, and Cyrus is like passing vegetables.
Like, how is
Completely
that...
blissfully ignorant
Like,
to
how is that
the
not
slander.
How is that not
Atlas is
a
saying.
wake-up call to the way you're acting? Like, I get that everyone's gotta do what they've gotta do, but like, I've never seen him pull his punches even once.
You kind of like see like the female dragonborn, not dragonborn, the female Leonin is like, I'm sure your friend, means well, but it's sometimes having their bad laundry yet maybe isn't good for them either. Maybe he's thinking about it internally.
I don't think he thinks about anything internally.
Pour someone while he's pouring someone some alcohol. He's trying to be nice. And Atlas is just talking shit the whole time.
Alice is always talking shit. It's a hobby of hers.
If Volgate
That's why
overhears
she
any of
loves
that conversation-
Astra so much, because Astra doesn't talk shit for so long and then comes up with the most out-of-pocket shit.
If Volga hears any other conversation, he'll just chime in at random points, just like, yeah, but it's not the only person in our group that I think needs to rethink some of their actions in the last few months. Chimera. And then, sorry, got a bit of a cough, takes a sip of wine, moves
As in,
on.
the Chimera should be rethinking their actions, or I should be rethinking the actions that led to the Chimera? Because I would argue the Chimera has been a net good for the team. Did you
Cyrus
see
looking at-
how quickly those Draconids that
Volga
tried
will
to
just-
board us got obliterated? That was impressive.
Cyrus looking at Astra and Barros. Do you have any fucking idea what they're saying?
No,
I also love the
Look
idea.
over to Cyrus and just go,
good food though.
Good food.
the
Very good food.
usual three-headed
Making
beast.
sure
Don't like
Sunshine
three-headed
gets
beast.
some. I feel bad he's missing this.
I also love the idea that Atlas's Draconic is just absolutely fucked because she learned it from a kobold.
I'll look
Atlas's
over at the-
Draconic is like using fucking like heavy slang and shit.
Inglorious
Cockney.
bastards. Buongiorno. Arrivederci.
Literally.
Volga will look over
Like
at
she's
the,
she's there using the equivalent of Cockney rhyming slang, and everyone else is like, "What the fuck is this bitch on?"
What's Volga doing?
Volga's looking over at the
Dragonborn.
same race as the as Sunshine.
The Leonin?
Oh, Leon.
Yeah, the two,
There's
and
two
just
of them,
kind
yeah.
of
There's
looking-
Jakar and
and just-
Kayla.
We'll look over at Astra and just look at Astra and just go, well, we can ask them to maybe give us maybe they can suggest some dishes he might like a lot. Or do we just take a bit of everything?
I think a bit of everything. I don't know if he's actually.
If there's
I'll
anything
relay
speci-
that we're taking some back for someone.
Alice will
to-
ask like specifically like they have a Leonin back on the ship. They want to surprise him. Is there anything that's like peak food you're gonna miss? Food, you know?
You see Kayla's like, whenever the dessert comes out, we should ask for the chef to come out because he makes a really, really good starfruit sorbet. And normally they bring it out to the dessert, but it is like home.
Bring him one of those.
Is that what that carry?
It'll
Could we
fine.
carry that back to the
Yeah,
ship?
how far is your ship away? Can't be that far.
Volga will think back to how long it took us to get here.
You-
We took a
you
detour
also,
down
like-
a lot of stairs.
You could like pad it, it's not terribly far. Like, it might, if you got one made fresh just before you got the bill and then left it, like that kind of thing. Like,
I
can we
can-
get this at the bill?
I can freeze
Yeah.
water provided there are no creatures in it. So if they give me a glass of water, I can make like some good ice cubes
Yeah.
to put around it.
You could probably just keep the sorbet cold then, like using that same theory. You basically also see like
Shape water on sorbet.
you kind of see like everyone's kind of like enjoys the food, like it's all going down well. Like Whispering Breeze, the Tabaxi and Krogan are kind of like speaking a little bit back and forth.
Kroganar.
Whispering Breeze, like and again, it's all like hand food. There's no cutlery, so it's like using the leaf or using like eating like very traditional like Indian kind of style, like with your fingers, like just to scoop up the food to your mouth. And like Whispering Breeze, she's got kind of like a nice kind of like way about her. Like she seems to have like be quite smart. She kind of every time she talks, she kind of starts with more like intellectual topics like philosophy or history, and she's quite curious like the mysteries of like the Expanse. She's like, what do you think happens in the middle of the Expanse, like that big glowing eye and things like that. Like she draws her really like weird questions, and then next to her, Grognar, who she's with, he literally like just digs into the food with gusto. He speaks mainly in grunts and snarls. He's like, and like kind of keep and like it's like he's not speaking Draconic. He might be speaking Knoll. Like you're not really sure.
Are they a couple? How the fuck did they meet?
The only thing you ever understand is the only thing we ever speak Draconic is he points at your drink and then points at his drink and goes like, contest! And then goes, drinking it down quickly.
I want to ask how they met, but I'm too scared.
Yeah, you can ask.
No, I'm too scared.
Okay.
Some things you don't need to know.
The Thar of the
I
Black
want to.
Scale clan, the lizard folk. Like he's like just like he's a pretty cold looking guy. Doesn't really talk much either. Zarath does speak a lot. He the Dragonborn, the Bosnian German. He talks a lot about his about battles he's been in, and like very proud, and yeah, he's very like And him and Slithar kind of like sometimes go off on like one-on-one conversation about like combat tactics and things like that. We're like widening it back into the wider group as well, because they almost kind of lose some of the group among it. And Kayla starts telling stories, like, because you guys student has like Leonan's like Leonan traditions, Leonan. She's also like quick to like start telling like homelands of like how back on like the homeworld of Zoic, and like like what about her family and things like that, and kind of how her and Jakar met and like why they came here. Like you kind of like get little bits and pieces, and it's like just it's a very strange kind of like environment, like you kind of. Yeah, it's that kind of like cultural thing, and it becomes very quickly like I guess maybe you kind of like after some time realize maybe that's why Sunshine gels so well kind of with everybody. It's that kind of like that's kind of their whole culture, The Olans seem just to be quite good at just talking to people, happy to listen, happy to tell stories.
Thing, but it's a Leonin thing.
Yeah, they seem to just be very happy to like get involved and share what they have. And eventually, with the main courses all finished up, eventually a few like a big like sharing platter, this like sorbet comes out. It's made of this like star fruit. It's like a native Leonin fruit. Blend of ice and a touch of wild honey. It's like this light, tangy kind of texture. It like cleanses the palate really well at the meal, and then it's like followed up with a little warm served like green tea. Made of like flowers as well, kind of in there, and it's like a very like apparently it's like probably Jakar tells you like, oh yeah, this is known for its calming properties, and it's kind of like similar to like chamomile in a sense, but maybe a bit more like floral and like kind of like more like pink, kind of like in color and hue as well. And eventually, at the request of Kayla, the chef comes out. And you see he comes over to the table, and Kayla sounds like he's this big, like imposing Leonin, like golden mane that is like tied back into like 5 ponytails, because there's so much of it, and he's got a big hairnet on. He wears like a big like chef's apron that kind of like covers like his like pretty simple clothes. And he comes out and he like pulls up a chair, sits at the table, like talking to you all, like he's like, oh yes, no, I hope did you all enjoy your meal.
Delicious, thank you.
Good, good to hear. And he actually does speak common. He actually does understand common.
okay.
He's like, no, it has been a while since we've had many Celestials, and good to see you all. Yes, indeed.
Well, I think you guys just got so used to not understanding everyone that he speaks, and it just takes a second of buffering of like, oh shit, he's speaking common.
Yes, I'm Savannah, by the way. Thank you for coming. Well, Kayla mentioned that you have a friend who is another Leonin. You want to maybe take some back for them?
Yeah, Sunshine, he's back on our ship.
Yes, I can do a little to-go bag of things for him. Don't worry, I'll throw it in on us. I'll nip it and get it. Any preference on food? No vegetarian or anything like that? I imagine being a Leonin, you never know. But
He eats everything.
good.
He eats everything. Although we did get recommended this sorbet.
Yeah, as you're kind of like eating it now.
This stuff. More of this.
But yeah,
Also, if they can recommend anything that cuts down on heribles, because that's becoming a real ship issue.
I'll be back in a moment.
second. But yeah, so basically, like, all of your, like, he goes away, he comes back out, he brings a little selection of things and pieces for you all as you all kind of, like, finish up your meal. Everyone kind of, like, finishes up warmly. And the bill as well for the table, it's for the table. It's not like no one is individually billed, and then everyone seems to fight over the bill.
Was that who's paying for it?
Yeah, Jakar's like, no, we will get this. We will, no, we want a chance to share our culture with you. And like, you see the Dragonborn, Zarath is like, no, I will not have someone else pay for my meal. I will ensure that I've at least paid my fair share. Krognar's like, well, if anyone wants to pay for Krognar, I'm not going to complain. And like, you see Whispering Breeze like slaps him on the shoulder. It's like, no, I will pay for more than all of us. I'll pay. No, at least let us get a quarter, at least a quarter. And it becomes like literally a fight of like how much money people are willing to pay for this bill.
Surely we should actually pay more. Because
You guys are like
more
nearly
of
half
us.
the table. You're like it's of the people that there's like 6 of them and 5 of you guys.
Atlas will
How's it
lean over to
going on,
Volgir and be
Volgir?
like, Volgir, do we have enough money to argue to pay?
More than enough.
Then
We should
Atlas will
offer at
also
least
join the
half.
we will pay. There's more
Volgir.
of us than there is of you.
Outsiders, you should not pay. No.
rather than that, Volgir will just as soon as you say that, Volgir will just get like
Volgir's
5
gonna
gold and just slam it on the table.
I thought
and just,
Volgir was gonna do the stealth, like, up to the bar, like, I will pay.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Yeah, make me your persuasion check, Volkir. I'll give you advantage if you put the money down.
My dad's friend once argued with him that he was gonna pay, and then ran to the front, paid, and then ran
Thank
out the
you for that
restaurant, so my
advantage.
dad couldn't do anything about it.
What was the
All
roll?
I'm going to say is very thankful for that advantage because I had a nat 1 on the first roll.
What was the second roll? I've not
It
seen
was
it. It's
a
not popped up.
14 plus. No, sorry, it's dice roll. 15.
15. Nice. Yeah. So you kind of see like, okay, you, how about you? You pay 5, and then like for all of you here, it's probably is about like, like 7 or 8 gold in total for everyone. So like you kind of put
He will
up.
get 3 more gold out. Put it on the
put it
table.
on. Yeah, and you kind of see and you see like Jakar, like eventually some people being in the seed, like the Knoll seeds very very quickly, like he wants to pay, let him pay, he's a big man, that kind of stuff. And Zarath still puts down like a good like little and you see he like probably transfers from his hollow strap a few into like the central kind of like terminal in the center of the table, at least enough for him and Slithar, and then Kayla and Jakar are like,
You
well
pay
we'll get.
tip.
Well, yeah, we'll get the tip.
You get
We'll
the
get the
tip.
tip. Yeah, and then they get and then basically, and then you probably leave like quite a generous tip collectively at the table. And like and like probably as you're kind of like leaving, a few people are like, anyone want to go get a drink somewhere else after this? And they just like an offer to like to go to like a bar, things like that. Or, like if you want to stick with these guys, you can always let them go on their way. Or
I mean, we could do, but we've also got this food for sunshine.
We got
Yeah,
the
we
We could
don't
bring
story.
sunshine to us.
We got a sorbet.
We could bring sunshine to us.
you try to sending him if you wanted.
Yeah, Asha would probably use her sending or message like, Sunshine, we find a Leonin restaurant, we've got you food. Meet us in the cultural district.
How's he gonna get there? We
Jason.
took the shuttle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Someone will have to go back and get him.
There's suits on the ship. They could take the suits.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could also
Two
just
suits.
ask him if
And
he
also
wants
Days
to
has the
come and-
cottontail. So like
Yeah,
theoretically he
yeah,
could
there
take
you
the
go.
I was
cottontail.
just
Surprise.
imagining Sunshine like, well, we don't have any way in the Expanse, but they said join them, so I guess I'm running.
Do you want to join us or we can come to you? Asha probably end with that.
I'm on my way.
It's not even that, it's just on way.
Yes, so
Just
you
OMW.
Although it takes your words, so it's just, I'm on my way, and then just, we need the cottontail, they found a Leonin plant.
Days, I'm borrowing this.
Care about your ancient shit. I've got Leonin food to eat.
So where you like? Volio will say, "Where are you guys going? I can go meet him by the shuttle."
We should go to the Scaled Mug, and you see they point over to what is clearly a kobold bar. It's kind of like, it literally, like, it looks like everything is kind of like sized up. Even for you, it's sized up. But there's also 2 doors. There's one door which is like normal size, which is like way too big, and there's one door which is like a really small door next to it.
Right. Well, I'll meet you guys in there, and I can go get him, bring him over here.
How small is the small door?
You would have to be a small-sized creature to enter it.
Damn, I'm too big.
You could try to squeeze through it.
I'm pretty small, but I'm too big.
You could squeeze through at half speed if you really wanted to squeeze through the door.
I'll just go through the big door.
It's like the IKEA small land like door. Yes, so you guys step inside. It's a vibrant blend of colors and textures in here. Not one piece of furniture matches, and neither does any of the glowing crystal lanterns hanging from the ceiling. Every wall has different wallpaper on it for some reason. None of the patterns match. The floors are made of
Kinda
different
hurts your
tiles
eyes.
and wood that have been like hodgepodge together. There are trinkets, tools, and mechanical parts that seem to decorate the walls, if you can call it that. The bar itself is made of this like rough-hewn wood and like metal kind of combined together, and the counter is like too high for the kobold bartenders who work behind it. However, you realize very quickly that the far side of the bar is raised up so they can like walk along. Like, so even though like from your perspective the bar is like fucking like 5 foot off the fucking ground, so it's even high for you. It kind of puts you in the shoes of a kobold. It feels like you're walking like a giant's kitchen almost. But when you look up, you see these little tiny kobolds behind the bar, like, what are you having? Like, you know, there's like polishing glasses and stuff like on the bar top itself.
The bar is 5 foot tall and therefore is too tall for Atlas to see over.
Yeah. And there's like big stools you'd like climb up to, and there's like little ladders on all the stools and things like that. And yeah, like, it's a very weird place. And then you see that the place was like cut like perfectly in half, and then there is like a to scale like kobold like area where if you were a small creature, everything is like perfectly like the right level. It's a much smaller bar. Kobold standing behind a complete level of that. Like, and it's like a weird like, and you see there's like points where it almost like the old Lord of the Rings, how they made Gandalf look bigger, like perspective chairs and stuff. like so the kobolds who are sat there can look like they're really big in comparison to really small like Asimar friend behind them who's like, you know, got the terrains like, you know, the right size for him as well.
I feel like Atlas is just there like, too big to be in small area, too small to be in big area.
Hey, what are you all having? Welcome in, welcome in. What do you want? What do you want? Yeah, climb on up, climb on up.
You see like a few of like the new friends you've made kind of like, you know, pull up a stool at the bar and start getting some drinks in. There's a variety. There's like sparkling gem tonic, firebelly ale, kobold knockback, tunnel juice, or the steamworks special. All on offering, and a few drinks as well, free food offerings as well.
Tunnel juice scares me.
You want tunnel juice?
Sure, sounds fun.
Yeah.
And you see he goes up to one of these machines, he presses a button, and it starts whirring like a blender would, and then it starts dispensing this deep green brew, and it's like a big frothy kind of like it kind of looks like a shamrock shake almost in color and style. And he slides it down to you. It seems to, you kind of like give it a sniff, and it has like almost like an earthy kind of like smell. It kind of like smells like maybe moss or fungi. And it's like definitely a bit of a bitterness to it.
I think this is literally just made from dirt. Like they have a tunnel in the ground and they just strip up.
This is made from some fungus and some mosses that are native to our caves.
I'm not drinking that, Cyrus. She'll say in
As you look down at Cyrus, a bit of moss just floats to the surface.
She'll say it in Celestial in hope that she doesn't offend any kobolds around.
Cyrus will try.
I'm not drinking that.
Try the tunnel juice.
Sure looks over at
It's
like,
got-
that's a nope.
It's got an acquired taste. Honestly, it probably doesn't taste too dissimilar to Guinness if you dumped some grass clippings in it.
So basically a matcha Guinness.
It's a matcha Guinness.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I guess at the final
Oh, you just
session, I'm gonna have to
turned
make a
Ryan's
matcha
toy.
Guinness now as one of our drinks.
Sounds bad.
Asher might go for the jam tonic.
The sparkling gem
Thing.
tonic. Yeah, you
Yeah,
kind of
that
see
sounds up her alley.
they go over and they push a button on another machine. This one starts like bubbling. You hear like almost like the sound like a bus brakes, like the hydraulic, like the and then eventually a bright fizzy drink made of mineral rich water. And you see it like glitters almost in the light, and they go, there you go, crushed gin tonic, and it becomes very apparent those are just actual crushed gemstones in the drink, like almost like edible glitter.
I bet Harmony fucking loves that.
Probably. You take a sip.
Asher sniffs and then takes a sip.
It's quite light and refreshing. It has a like a sweet, earthy taste almost to it from probably the gemstones.
Little gritty at the end there, but
Bit of a chew. at points.
Bit of a crunch.
Yeah. Not yeah, but it's refreshing. It's like weird. Yeah, it's a feel weird experience. Most of your troop go for a more safe option. They go for the fire belly eel, which is this like spicy eel, which seems to have like maybe like chili in it, basically, effectively. It has a bit of a warming effect. Most of the other ones who are with you. The odd one also goes for the Steamworks special, which is this like big whimsical cocktail that comes out. It appears to be like a zombie kind of style drink, like just a load of like alcohol all poured together, a variety of mixers. And it's basically served with a load of dry ice thrown in it and like a big sparkler jammed in the top.
Oh yeah, I want one of those.
You want a Steamworks special? Yeah, Steamworks special coming up. Got a Steamworks special.
And he pulls like this like little boop, boop, like train like full horn. And yeah, they like do that as well for you. There's still a kobold knockback that no one's bothered to try yet. If
Atlas will
I'll
spend
try
the next
the
10
kobold
minutes
knockback.
trying to persuade Cyrus to eat a cube of dry ice to see if he dies.
No. I'll sooner eat the sparkler.
The sparkler won't hurt you.
barrels to get the kobold knockback. It is served in a tiny little ornate cup, like about the size of a shot
Barrels
glass.
is gonna die.
And it is like it's just you literally look at it. It is just brown. The brown water in a cup.
I'll knock it back.
You throw it back. It is fucking. It like burns the back of your throat. You like inherently like cough a little bit. Like you're not expecting it to like pack such a punch. It's got like it, and you as you throw it back, the bartender's like,
Yeah, so this is the knockback. Oh, you've just done it. Okay, well, it's made from fermented mushrooms and roots. Very strong, kind of like moonshine.
and then like whenever you ask like what how is it like it's like you know
It's brown because we reinfused it with the dirt, you know, to make it like nice color.
Very dirt-focused place.
We like the tunnel. Whenever the original designs for this place, it was like big tunnel, like dirt everywhere. But problem was dirt kept falling on people.
That is an issue with time.
So instead we went for like invention. Let's go about like dirt tunnel invention.
That's mostly just like catching shit. And theft.
Yeah.
Volgear partaking any drinks or anything?
Volgear will once he gets back.
Yep, eventually Sunshine does come along. And he's like jogging, he's like, where is it? Where am I going? Volgear, friend!
Is this in the bar or have I met him at the
It's like
shop?
you met him like outside, he's like, oh, I'm so unfit. I've not run in a long time. I think since we broke out of prison.
Oh, let's go make you more fit.
Yeah! Where are we going?
Get here.
Yep, he follows you inside. He's like, oh, Kobold place, cool.
Astra has your food.
Nice. He goes like solid next to Astra. He goes like, oh, I'll get 2 Steamworks special, please. Like looking at the board. Whoop whoop. And yeah, but Sunshine starts drinking. It looks like Sunshine didn't think to bring anyone else. And you notice he's wearing like one of like the Expanse suits you guys have. He got like the helmet under his arm, kind of like an astronaut would have, like their helmet, like very like prim and proper. But he's like kind of red in the face. He's like, whew.
He didn't even tell anyone he was leaving. He's just gone.
Yeah. He was mid-movie night with...
He was mid-movie night, got a message on his holo strap, and just got up and left.
I want to know if he's wearing anything underneath that. Or not. But, Volgear will just kind of just pick at random. Probably end up on the Steamworks special as well. And he'll just work his way through the drinks, getting different ones.
You're gonna be drinking a lot of dirt.
But yeah, I mean, you guys, like, with all of your friends as well, kind of here. Most of them are pretty incessant that, like, they'll pay because, like, you got the drinks in the other place, and there's a bit of a back and forth. And yeah, you guys can, like, get a bit more time, like, catch up if you want to ask questions of any of them. Like again, maybe a good time. A few of them are a bit, like, have a few drinks in them, things like that. If you're.
Sure, we'll give Cyrus or Sunshine the food and the sorbet.
Yep. He, like, eats the sorbet first. Like, it's so good. And he, like, eats it all. And then he, like, opened the other stuff and was like, oh, there's, like, warm food as well. He's like, it's, like, more like lukewarm now, but it's okay. So he's, like, eating all that. Again, he eats it, like, with his paws. And then, like, as he finishes, he's like Scooby-Doo-esque, like licking his fingers clean. Like,
Atlas just like,
very good. And he puts his arm on Atlas's shoulder. It's like, you're having a good time. You feel, like, the wet saliva, like, on your suit.
Cyrus is probably going to pace himself this time. He's not going to go as hard as he did at the Reeve.
don't ruin this place with racist comedy. You're
Yeah,
already covered in ghosts.
I am being good.
The ghosts would disagree.
What was Astra going to say?
No, if Astra sees Atlas like cringing, she just turns to her and Celestia just says spiders.
As in, you want me to become one? Okay, but it might freak
No,
people out
this is
in here.
this is the equivalent, I think.
Spiders can't hurt you, Astra. Germs can hurt me. Spiders can't do anything.
Spiders can't hurt you. Your spiders kill people.
Those aren't real spiders. They're fey spirits pretending to be spiders.
You
Fey are
saying the
dangerous,
spiders
just
and
ask Theros.
You saying the spiders on Squall don't kill people?
I kill people.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, maybe, but nobody I know.
My point.
Like, bears also kill people. Squirrels probably kill people, and you're not scared of them.
Cyrus kills people.
Cyrus kills people. You're not scared of Cyrus.
We all kill people.
Yeah,
when they
but you
deserve
like
it.
doing it more than the rest of us.
I never said I enjoyed it.
Then why'd you keep
I
doing
enjoy
it?
it.
Because I'm good at it.
On a level of most people kill enjoyment level, it's you and Barros, and then Volgir, and then me, and then Astra doesn't really like it.
How many people do you think I've killed?
I don't know, you shoot people with arrows, I imagine it's hard to pull your punches. Because your punches are arrows.
Yeah, but I've not always shot people
Also,
with arrows.
I'm not saying the most people killed, I'm saying, like, how much you care about it. Like, how bad you feel.
Caring about killing people and enjoying killing people are two very different things.
Are you guys having this
You can
conversation
kill-
all in Celestial?
Yes.
I'm gonna go get a drink.
Before everyone gets him.
You can kill a lot of people and not really care
Wait,
about it
does everyone in the party speak Celestial?
and not enjoy it.
I don't think Barros speaks Celestial.
No, I speak common and Elvish.
Elvish.
Oh, and thieves can't, but that doesn't really count. It's not a language, it's more
Yeah,
symbols.
it's the same as, like, Druidic.
I feel like then Volga will be translating it to Elvish every so often.
So
Just
do you
relevant
enjoy
cliff
killing
notes.
people, or do you just not really care that you kill people?
They're arguing about whether they enjoy killing people or
I
not.
just feel like you don't pull your punches. You never knock people out.
Yeah, well, if you let them live, they might come back to try and kill you later. If you kill them, they're dead.
Oh, I just enjoy killing people.
Yeah, just Cyrus is trying to justify
I'm
killing
starting
mass
to think that you
murderers.
guys aren't very
Mass
nice.
murdering.
I'm a pirate. Also, it's really funny when you kill someone and they just shit themselves. It happens quite a lot.
They don't put that in the stories. How they shit themselves in the end.
God, I wish there was wine in hell. That's Cyrus every
At
day
which
in
point-
home.
Volga
God, I
will
wish
look
there
at the
was
drink
wine
he's
in
got,
hell.
look at the brown colour, put his drink down, push it away, get a different drink that's maybe not brown. After what? After that.
I just heard a squeak from downstairs and then rapid skittering. I just feel like if you're covered in ghosts, maybe you should reconsider how you're living your life.
The ghosts didn't appear until we got on this planet. As soon as we
Eros
leave
isn't
this
covered
planet,
in ghosts and he likes killing people.
It's because I killed bad people.
I kill bad people too.
I kill pirates and members of the amalgamate. Bad people.
When was the last time I killed a nice person?
I don't know, we don't have much chance to find out if they're nice or not, because you kill every single one of them.
Wasn't there some interrogations that went a bit wrong a while back?
Go wrong. We got all the information we needed.
And he was an enemy.
What
That's
type
what
of
you do
enemy?
to your enemies. You kill them.
And that's the kind of thinking that gets you into this mess.
And into
It's
those
not a
ghosts.
mess, it's just some ghosts. You leave my ghosts alone, alright? They're my ghosts.
I bet your dad doesn't care about people he kills.
Probably not.
Oh.
Will he
No,
rise
I
to
was
it?
I just had to snap my head back out of a wrong. I was going down the wrong route in my head here.
Yeah, it's funny because Cyrus has major daddy issues.
I'm seeing a theme here, Ryan.
Yeah.
Daddy issues, characters.
Yeah, I can agree for another campaign. It's a thing.
Family drama, God crisis. These are like easy blueprints to follow when making a character, okay?
To be fair, Kaz's
Oh, that's
daddy
a bad
issues
one,
were
mate.
kind of assigned to
What?
him.
Oh, we're not just talking about that one.
Kaz's daddy issues were his godly issues.
Family
Whereas-
issues and godly issues. These are easy things to like follow for character dynamic. Says the Catholic boy.
Yeah. Hey, D&T is therapy, okay?
I can't speak for Ryan's dad. Ryan's dad's nice, but I only met him
Yeah.
once.
I've only met Ryan's dad once. He waited till all the Irish people had left and then started talking to me and Emily about the troubles. So,
I'd like to talk
I
about
don't
the
know-
famine.
I don't know how much I can vouch for his niceness because I think he did that on purpose. And you're always just there like, I'm sorry, I didn't have anything to do with this. Henry VIII decided he wanted to fuck a younger woman like a while ago and that happened.
What was the context? Because context is a big deciding
We
factor.
can get back
in
to
that
this later.
conversation.
He was talking about checking under cars for car bombs. I don't know.
Probably making an inappropriate joke, as my dad does.
Yeah. Anyway, your group you're with, as you guys kind of go off on a tangent, speaking in all languages they don't speak, kind of busy themselves with each other. Speaking in Draconic again, because again they all do. Unfortunately, they don't share a language issue. But with no one actively translating anymore, so kind of involved in your own conversation, you kind of miss out. However, you do occasionally pick up those who do speak Draconic. Cognar is beginning to say like, "So when are we doing story time?" And then you hear one of the Kobold bartenders like, well, yeah, we could do story time right now if you want. Hang on. You see like scuttles off around a little small stage on the far side. He goes up, he hits a little small microphone, you like ring out, and then in Draconic, he like says like, everyone, if you have any interesting or fun stories, please come to one of our two stages, a little stage or a big stage, our baby or our grand stage.
Volgir will like nudge Baros's hand up. I'm sure you've got plenty of funny stories.
I mean, I do, but I don't speak their language. But don't
Don't-
you?
Don't do any of the ones that involve us doing crime.
Wait.
I
all
mean,
the
I
fun.
can
Okay,
come
why
up and
don't-
translate it for you.
Okay, why don't you just tell them your life story?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would.
If he says it in Draconic, though, we won't understand it.
I will.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's
Atlas can
fine.
Translate.
They might enjoy our crime stories because it's usually against the amalgamate.
That's
so then
true. We're technically not terrorists here.
Might be heroes here.
I don't
That'd be
think
nice.
we're heroes. We just like escaped jail. That is a good story, though, escaping jail.
I mean, escape jail and flipped the
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it. The place upside down, the gravity.
Yeah. Palace.
See, I feel
Yeah,
like that's a
Val's-
fun story, but I don't think I have the. I'm not a good storyteller, you know.
I can't say I am.
I mean, I am, but you guys were the ones that escaped prison. Mine and Volgir's story is a little bit.
We pushed a couple buttons.
Well, maybe you and I can go up together, and you can tell your bit of reversing the gravity, and then we can skip to my bit of us in prison and how that went down.
Sure, that'll work.
Are you going to translate for him, or do you want me to come up and translate for him so it
I
looks
can
like two different?
translate. I'm sure these people can understand me. Why are you
Okay.
looking at me like that?
I didn't look at you like anything. It was the ghosts.
Maybe not say our names directly, in case there's like amalgamate people amongst here. I don't know.
Okay, well that's
the amalgamate
Barry, and
people
I'm
are here, they're
whatever the
very
fuck my name's
brave.
supposed to be.
Barry and Fiona.
Sure.
Fiona Flighty.
Feels racist, but okay.
It wasn't me that picked the name.
Sylvie, stop trying to chew on
It
my
was
lip.
meant to be racist.
Feels it.
Mission accomplished.
Sure. We'll go up and tell this story of how, as a group, we escaped the
Jailbreak.
Sure. Make me a performance check then if you're telling the story of that. And if you got a translator, it's fine. You don't have any penalties. Because you could have done this like without, and it would have been disadvantage if you didn't have a translator. Sometimes even like the connection, even if you don't understand, it could be the energy and like the general performance might be enough.
Believe that's a non 20. Yeah.
Nice.
Non 20.
Yeah, you kind of like take your time and basically explain like the story of like all this, and with Atlas it's like translating for you, it takes a bit longer maybe for you to get the reactions you'd expect for like certain lines and like that, but it is very well received. There's like a big laugh at points, like like you see people like whispering kind of back and forth, and it gets good bit of attention. And there's more than just the group you guys entered with here initially, like there's more than just Krognar and Sarath and Whispering Breeze and Slathar and Kayla and Yaknar, or Yakker. There's more as well, kind of like a couple of kobolds as well, a few lizard folk all lingering around as well. Some having some dinner as well, like a pub grub situation. That all kind of like listen. At the end of your story, one of the bartenders will do, and he gives you a drinks coupon. For 2 drinks for you and your translator for telling a good story. Well received, and you get a drinks, and then basically your next 2 drinks are basically on the house in a sense. And then more people get up, unfortunately no one translates for you guys, but you can only translate amongst yourselves. But one of the like lizard folk gets up, not one in your group, but another one that gets up, and he starts telling a story about how he found out that his brother, who he thought was dead, actually was still alive, and they met up recently and reconvened, and that his brother faked his own death, he got a lot of gambling debts he'd accrued and things like that. And he told more sort of like what his brother had been getting up to, and the more his story goes on, the more apparent it's what he was getting up to. He is his, like, there was no brother, like it's like he just got a little gambling debt by making his own identity, but like he's trying to play it off like, oh yeah, and then my brother did this, and then my brother did this. Like that kind of thing. Not as well received as Beryl's story about you guys, but he still does get a little drinks token regardless. Yeah, some of your group with you will inquire a little bit, like Sarath, the Dragonborn, probably asked probably Cyrus, probably was someone translating for him. He's like, so why do you fight alongside these lot? Are they strong? Are they?
It's
Look like
more
warrior.
of yeah, it's a long story, but through very strange circumstances, we have found ourselves aligned in some things that we are trying to achieve.
And because I have to ask, who would translate for Cyrus?
I'll translate.
And would Vulgar
Thank
translate
you.
word for word? You're not going to translate like silly stuff?
No.
I'm having an affair with the satyr.
As I have to ask, because like that's the risk of trusting Vulgar to.
And do you know what? I'm gonna see. Will Volgir be a dick about this?
Roll
Yes, Cyrus is probably-
Constitution.
It looks really serious, so whatever, if you go completely joke, it's like, and we are aligned, and there's the threat, and you know what, they need someone that'll call the do things that, because they're all a bit too nice, you know? Someone needs to draw the hard line in the sand, take the action where they won't take it, and he's like, I'm sleeping with the captain, and...
I love the way his
Yeah,
fur feels against my buttocks.
Call it odds or even.
Even.
Odd. So what I'll do is I'll transfer it and then I'll throw in like a throw him off sentence. So like every so often. So I'll translate it word for word and then I'll just throw in
So
some
basically,
random.
we
And
became
then I-
we became aligned, and then I fell in love with the captain.
yeah, kind of thing.
They need someone to take the hard decisions, make the hard decisions, and I take it hard from the captain.
I'll do the same thing back as
Yeah.
well.
So like so Zarath is like, you know, the conversation like so eventually like I guess Zarath like so that's like, oh, so this is your, he like points to Beros and it's like, so this is your lover, and like that kind of thing, like.
And I'll say to Cyrus, and this is your fighting companion.
Yes, he is
You're
very
like, yes,
strong.
he
and
is, yeah,
capable.
yeah.
I don't think I need to translate that back for you.
He did once steal my pants, though.
He stole his pants many times.
Zarath like laughs and like taps like Slither, and then he points to Slithar like this upper, and Slithar's like so Zarath is this like bronze scaled like dragonborn, like quite handsome looking, like, you know, very chiseled like features and stuff. And the lizard folk he's with is this like other male lizard folk, like black scales, kind of like almost like shimmer. He's got like these like yellow cold eyes, and he wears like functional armor. If he was a bone jewelry on, it's like adornments. Whereas Zarath is like wearing this well-crafted suit of armor, and like, you know, he's very like well kept after, like, you know, not as nowhere as tribal as Slithar. And he points at like Slithar, like, you know, this one, you know, we have had our fair share of bunk time as well. It happens, you know, whenever you're in close proximity with people you like get along with and that kind of stuff. And like, you know, the physicality like is probably enough to like keep Cyrus kind of like on the same line, but the
Yeah.
conversation on their side is completely different.
Yeah, just be like, he said at some point you should come spar with him, and I'll say to the other guy, well, I think he wants to join you two at some point.
Oh, well, you know, he points to Slithar, like, well, Slithar would be a bottom and I'm more of a top, you know, so I don't know where he'd fit in that equation.
Definitely the middle.
In the middle, that's perfect. Cyrus is like, Cyrus understands, like, he's a close range fighter, I'm long range, we need someone like to cut the distance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fast. I have great movement speed on the battlefield.
He says he's fast and he can keep going a while.
I'll buy them a round of drinks after
Yeah,
this
okay.
conversation.
I would like you to make me a persuasion check, Cyrus.
Yay, because I'm really bad at that.
If only it's the time you did well.
Nat 20, nat 20.
Come on, not doing it.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
15.
He's sleeping with some drink.
You have a round of drink. They buy you a round of drinks.
Nah.
They buy you another round of drinks, and the other one is Slithar gets a round in.
I feel like Atlas is kind of like listening in and out, and she's like, Cyrus, are you actually gonna do this?
Do what? We're talking about sparring.
They're not talking about sparring. Well,
What do you mean
not
they're
in a
not?
traditional sparring sense.
Look at the other end of the bar, just laughing his head off.
He's a close range, he's a short range.
Okay,
you
so
know,
the
but-
word that you're saying is fighter actually translates to...
I'm not saying anything. Volgir's translating for me. Looks over at Volgir, who is laughing into his pint.
Oh, I'm gonna kill that dwarf.
Korgar and Whispering Breeze are also both pissing themselves.
I mean, you can kill that
then look at them
dwarf,
and
but
just-
you've got other things to deal with first. Anyway, enjoy your drink.
Cyrus
I'll
will like
I'll lean
thank them
over
for the
to
drink and
Cyrus.
then just walk away.
Actually, like-
As he
Yeah, and you like
As he
like
goes,
as you
Volgir will
walk
grab
away,
it.
it's like just as the rat is like about to put a hand on your hand, and you like retract it, and like, and you see he turns and he says to your colleague like to the Thor like, "Was it something I said?" Like,
I'll just turn around and go. He's a bit shy.
Performance
He just needs to keep trying.
anxiety.
Volgir, if we
Let
didn't
him
need
go.
you to pilot the ship, I would kill you. I will
eventually you're
remember this.
eventually
Cyrus
Kayla and
disapproves.
Jakar like bid farewells. They pay up for their rounds and they head out, leaving you with just Slathar,
You can't even do it back
Zarath,
to him because he speaks Celestial.
Whispering Breeze, and Krogar still present. But after the realizing kind of like the little like shy back and forth, Slathar and Zarath perhaps getting themselves a bit too excited, eventually excuse himself, and then you're just left with Whispering Breeze and Krogar. Krogar has
I asked
ordered
how they
more
meet.
food.
I have to know.
Krogar's like ordered these like little like crispy crave critters, and they're like literally just like bugs on sticks. And he's like, as he like eats stuff very, very quickly. Who do you ask how they meet? Do you ask Whispering Breeze? Do you
I
ask
asked
Krogar?
Whispering Breeze because Krogar scares me a little bit.
Cyrus getting gladiator PTSD flashbacks of Noel taking ear.
We were both quite important children in our tribes. I was the daughter of a chieftain, and Korgar was the son of a chieftain. Part of the Bloodsnout clan that Krogar is with to claim their chieftainhood or czardom or whatever you want to call it. They're like their stance or their rank in a sense. They have to kidnap a member of an opposing tribe. I was that member. My
So you're
tribe.
kidnapped right now?
Oh, not anymore. A long time ago. You know, this is going back 4 years. He's gruff and rough and boisterous and loud and abrasive. But he's loyal. As hard as his outside is, he has a good respect for someone who can prove their strength. And I have to say, the fair share on the scars on his face were mainly when I was trying to kill him when he was trying to kidnap me. And, you know, it has proven a mutually beneficial relationship, both for us and our clans as well. Our tribes are closer than ever after our engagement, if you could call it that. But it's not quite in that same translation. But we've come here on a little holiday to get away from the trials and tribulations of Zoic. Plus, we both had never eaten Leonin food despite their proximity. The one tribe we're not really associated with at all, you know?
I feel like you shouldn't be hanging around with someone who kidnapped you.
It's fine.
I mean, we did kidnap someone who hangs around with us now, but I also feel like she shouldn't be doing that, to be honest.
He's mainly harmless. Don't worry about him. Believe me, you know, initially kidnapping, sure, but now I kind of pulled the strings in some way. Isn't that right, sweetie? And she like rubs his hair, and he's like, "What? What's going on?" It's like, "Nothing, dear. Enjoy your bugs." He's like,
Nothing, dear. Enjoy your bugs.
and like you see, like to compare them, like she is like this sleek, silver-furred tabaxi with like dark spots all across her coat. She's got these like big green eyes. She's wears this, like flowing, brightly colored robe with like intricate patterns that have like real like exotic kind of like flair to them, almost like traditional like African kind of like style. And then he is like tall, hunchback, mottled brown and black fur. His snout is just covered in scars and scratches. His eyes are a deep red, and he wears like piecemeal armor with like various trophies like hanging off them, like a tail of an animal and things like that. Like, and he just is like completely opposites. Like,
Cyrus just scratches his ear a little bit, looking at the tail just wagging on the shoulder.
You see, there is an ear like further down.
Mm.
As the tail moves, you see like a little ear there.
Don't look directly at it. Don't look directly at it.
Yeah, eventually Krogar and Whispering Breeze will leave you to enjoy your night as they finish up their drinks. I think they've had a bit too much, as Krogar is beginning to try to take to the story stage and sing karaoke, even though there's no music playing. He's essentially singing "Baby, I Love the Way" every day in Knoll, and it's not flirty. Yeah, so eventually they
We
eventually
should probably
leave.
be
They bid
heading
well.
back ourselves.
Yeah.
Just one more jump, and then
Journey.
we're done.
Hmm.
With this leg of the journey, at least.
Yeah, you guys pay up, head back to the Chimera. I will
Can we
say,
squeeze Sunshine into the shuttle, or
I mean, he also has the like suit. He can just walk back. It's not the end of the world. Or he can wait for someone to do a loop. That'll take a couple of minutes. But yeah, you eventually all head back towards the Chimera, settling up. I'll say for the night's entertainment, obviously Volker has already fronted up about 8 gold, so he's more or less paid his way, but everyone else probably racks up about another gold or so in drinks, just like in the evenings when I mark 100 shits off, just for the good times you've had, the new people you've met.
Times and the bad.
Cyrus has like 2 new contacts in his hollow strap. Sending inappropriate messages in Draconic that he doesn't understand.
add to spam folder?
Cyrus has like hollow strap notifications with the grinder notification for some reason.
Every time,
Refuse install. Refuse install.
every day, every evening before Volgir goes to sleep from now on, if he will remote in and unblock them and send them a quick message going missing you to see if what the response will be.
They always respond. I would say Cyrus's perception is low enough the Vulgar can probably get evidence at least once or twice.
You can't do it every night. You just have to do it like often enough that he thinks
Yeah.
like he must have accidentally unblocked it.
Or they got like a new
himself.
hollow
I'll
strap.
do it whenever he gets drunk. Every time he gets slightly drinks
Sure, well,
a bit
do
too
you
much.
remember that then? Whenever Cyrus gets too drunk, you can make a little sleight of hand versus
Make a
perception.
note of it.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
It's for Zarath and for Slithar.
I need
But yeah, after you know your like time eating and drinking and all that kind of stuff, 11 hours goes fast, and eventually the ship repairs are completed. You still do have a little more time to spend here anyway, but with your trading, things like that as well. Eventually, the 24 hours does pass by, and the Chimera is fully repaired and ready once more to jump, if you so wish.
Yeah, let's drop off the parents.
Yeah.
And the Micaiah. And the Micaiah.
The Micaiah.
I'm not coming with you.
No, you're coming with.
No. I'm going home.
Venture across the world.
Nope.
No?
No.
No more Expanse adventures.
Nope. I'm good. Thanks. Thanks for the offer. No. As you...
I was told having big brothers would mean I was protected forever.
Yep, and I will protect you from the safety of home, where you should stay, Atlas.
Yeah, good luck putting the jack back in that box.
My,
sorry, did
my
you-
Jack.
I don't follow the metaphor.
You know, like jack in the box, it's a little box and you crank it and then jack pops out on a spring.
I don't want to hear about you cranking it.
I'm also confused.
If I
Is
see
this
one,
another one?
if
is
I
this
see
another
one,
one of those-
if I ever see one when we're looking at trader stuff or whatever, I'll point it out to you.
Is
I
this
don't think
another
I
one of
want you
those
to.
poor people of your ghosts that you killed, stuffed them in a box called Jack?
No.
Like the
you know,
AIs in the briefcase.
There's different versions, you know. Sometimes a little clown pops out.
Explains why you managed.
Sometimes a little switchblade pops out and you have to dodge it. You know, that was one that my father gave
Oh,
me.
it's like the knife-wielding tentacle, but in a Jack-in-the-Box. You like ding it, and it's like.
No wonder you have ghosts if that was your toy.
It's not really a toy, but you know, it's a thing. Reflex trainer. I don't know.
What's wrong with a teddy bear or a giant locust?
Or just
Sorry, a giant locust.
Yeah, you know, kids' toys.
Do you think my childhood was weird?
But yeah, I assume you initiate a jump to Nahula Major.
I'm going home.
Alrighty. As you jump
How do you
to
not know what a Jack in the Box is?
As you jump to the Hula Major, you find there are two, because it's like one of the major clusters, it has two large star systems in it. It has Augla, and it also has Zephyr here as well. Zephyr will be the one that contains Squall, so you need to head towards Zephyr. This is where your navigator needs to make a navigator's tools check, please, because you're trying to navigate to a different system in a sector.
It would be really embarrassing if I fucked this up because it's my own house.
Like getting in a taxi drunk. I ain't gonna take a turn off the lights of it, and then that's it. Anywhere here is good.
How do I make a fucking
Completely wrong
navigator's
state.
tools check?
It's gonna be your
Wisdom.
wisdom plus proficiency bonus. So any wisdom proficiency skills you have will be fine.
Probably like perception.
I'm gonna
22.
22.
That's very good. So yeah, you make it in very good time in your day by day as you traverse towards Squall and Zephyr. As you come into Zephyr itself, you find the Zephyr star is this like pretty traditional like large sun, but it's green in color. It's a green star, and then there is a big asteroid belt around it. And at first glance, there is seemingly no planets there, but after a quick scan around, you eventually find Squall with Atlas's navigation to help guide you in.
That's the asteroid belt. That's where Owlin learned how to fly in like risky or sub-zero temperatures or high winds.
I'm guessing you've never done that then.
I mean, no, but I'm old enough to.
And she's not going to do it.
No,
Dangerous.
of course not.
Your mother comes into the
Most people
helm.
start when they're 17 or so. But my eldest brother could fly when he was 14.
Rolga will kind of whisper in your ear, but a lot of Owlin can't say they've flown out of a ship to chase a bomb.
I don't think any Owlin should be saying that. Especially not in
Agreed.
front of their overprotective parents.
What is this
Agreed.
about bomb?
Nothing.
Atlas?
No,
Atlas?
she was the bomb. You know, like
Atlas?
she did a
Give
great.
me a deception check, Cyrus. With your -1%.
Yeah. Yep. 7.
Atlas,
Lucky number 7.
In my
your
defense,
father in my room now.
In my defense, it was after a guy. I forgot about the bomb. I was checking to see if he died or not.
Sounds
He was
incredibly
falling.
dangerous.
It wasn't
I forget.
incredibly dangerous.
I
Just like
forget they
a
got very good hearing.
regular amount of dangerous. They're owls.
Kaya loses some more feathers.
Sorry, can I ask you to stop
We need to
shedding?
get him
I have
some-
found feathers in everything this
We need
morning.
to get him like some chamomile tea or something.
Yeah.
We need to get him home.
like Ash has been like drip feeding him chamomile tea. He's not doing it.
Like
It's a
full-on
stressor.
bats of the stuff.
Every night, Astra is sitting, dipping feathers in super glue and putting them back on him again.
Just like knitting him a cloak of feathers because he keeps losing them.
You eventually begin steering the ship down towards Skull and Severe, but I do need 2 Demon Hunter rolls, please, for any onboard or offboard.
Onboard.
Happen.
I can do an off-board.
But both fine.
Atlas seems excited as you kind of like get close enough to see the astro belt and shit, but as you start to get down to Squall, she sort of deflates.
From above.
It's like.
From above, Squall looks like this beautiful, like, blue planet. And you could almost, like, see, like, lush land masses, like, down there. And as you get closer and closer, you see, rising up, there's these, like, big... They look like knitting needles jammed into the surface of the planet, and they rise high and high, high above the clouds. And they glow with light and life. Those knitting needles, they glow like towers reaching out towards the expanse. But they don't. They're so high they don't penetrate the atmosphere. But they're tall. They're visible even from orbit. And as you get closer, you see that
Whereas my plant starting to describe 2 giant moths flew in at the same time.
But as you get closer, you see that lovely blue ocean and that fluffy landmass. It's not landmass and it's not ocean. It's twisting and turning thick smog of different colors, blues and greens. And the large knitting needles that plunge beyond that smog that hangs over the entire planet's surface are the only points of light or life that Squall even amuses to hold. With Atlas to guide you, and the Morose as well, she is able to lead you down to a spire city called the Croak. It is a city built off a large metal, what could have been a tev once upon a time. A tev that was carved to be a long needle that would stab into the surface of a planet somewhere much far below. And it has a large, wide point, much like the end of a knitting needle, which seems to serve some kind of control station or helm, maybe, and probably once housed a thruster, but that has been long since repurposed. And branching off this needle with a lot of makeshift and rescavenged struts and scaffolding, there are these little, like almost like blossoming out from the center, a web of walkways, and there are houses nestled among them, all made of repurposed materials, sheet metals, light things that don't have too much weight. And you see where the edges of the settlement are. There are either incomplete areas of walkways that haven't been finished building, or areas that were finished building and likely crumbled away from maybe support struts not being strong enough to support them, so they webbed further and further and further out from the center anchor point. Atlas, you would know this to be home. And it is not the grandeur of a rich family. No, it is rusty sheet metal and wood and scaffolding clinging on to a very advanced looking central spire, which didn't look like it originally planned to have a city kind of like growing off it, like almost like a intrusive vine around a tree, trying its best to cling to live. As you guys fly down, there is nowhere suitable to land a tev of this size, apart from atop the knitting needle, if you would call it that itself, where the old thruster probably may once have laid itself.
So, shuttle.
Yeah, you can shuttle down if you want, or you can try to put the Chimera down on top of the actual spire itself. But who knows what bringing a ship of that engine size that close would harbor.
Did we put it into like hover mode or something?
Or do we just stay out of reach?
I mean, I'm happy to stay up here and keep the ship in the air while you take a shuttle down.
No, the only ones that really need to go are Pilot, that's Barros, Atlas and her family.
I don't need to go.
Yep. Just gonna say goodbye to them on the ship. You don't want to see your old house or anything.
You also said you might want to do some trading. We could always see if anyone's doing the trade down there.
Well, we can't trade without everyone coming down, so.
You can all go if you want.
We're gonna have to make multiple trips if you're trading anyway, because you don't carry that much trade.
Hey, who knows? Maybe someone needs a lift out of here. It's a pretty bleak place. No offense.
Well, we can just shuttle a couple times. Need be.
Yeah, we'll just leave the Chimera in orbit and we'll shuttle back and forth.
Just need someone to stay here on that.
As you guys are talking and looking over, you see a pulse. The whole spire pulses with a blue energy, and as it does so, you see a spiderweb effect, like lightning through the clouds, fire out from all sides atop the top of this smog, and you see little, maybe 1,000 foot away, like little dots, and then 1,000 foot away, little dots, and 1,000 foot away, little dots, and you see these engines, these little atmospheric engines, forcing this smog to stay at the level it's at, stopping it from rising up any higher, as the net is in full force still, keeping the smog from gobbling up the entire atmosphere.
The net keeps the city protected. All of the cities.
So, we all going, or what's happening?
We can all go if that's what the others wants.
Or would you rather not go?
I don't know. I don't mind. It's fine.
Do you not want to go to the planet?
I'm not scared. It's my
I'm not saying you're
planet.
scared. I'm just saying, do you not want to go?
I mean, we came all the way here. We should probably go there, right? We've gone to every planet we've gone to.
At least this way you'll get decent wine.
Yeah. So let's just get in the shuttle and get down there. Right? Because
All right.
landing the ship would be a bad idea.
I can keep it on the ship, Barros, if you need. Being between me and Sunshine, probably got it handled.
Sure.
Serpana kind of makes things idiot-proof anyway. What if you guys were last at the that other place, at the Harmony Station? He just kept trying to push buttons, and she just turned them off before he could. Wait, is that what was happening? No, nothing. I thought my fingers were broken.
And I'll go and start preparing the shuttle.
Yep, so you prefer the shuttle to fly it down. Yeah, I mean, you can probably squeeze all of you in there with Atlas's family. Pretty much be at a capacity. But yeah, you fly down towards the Croak, leaving the Chimera kind of probably up in orbit, really, rather than
entering atmosphere itself, no point putting that added pressure in a sense. But you're still close enough by, a couple of minutes or so, as the shuttle coasts down and finds a small landing area in a large enough makeshift kind of like courtyard esque. As you see the croak kind of before you, and you see for the first time Birdfolk. Arlen,
For
Aarakocra,
the first time. I've been here the whole time.
other than Atlas and her family.
Take
you
off
see-
my mask, revealing me
There
the
was
whole
also
time.
that one man whore in
We
the
did see that
brothel.
one man whore in
Yeah,
the brothel.
You see lots of winged humanoids, Aarakocra and Ireland, all taking on the forms of eagles and hawks and sparrows and pigeons and
Owls.
a much more
naturally.
eclectic mix of birds. Even a few waterfowl folk, some duck folk as well.
We love duck folk.
They've got like much big wider bills than the narrow beaks of the Aarakocra and things like that. But the only ones that probably look the most familiar, even though you've been flying with Atlas's family for the guts of about nearly 2 weeks now, it feels like, are near the main elevator. A bunch of small little stalls set up, hodgepodge, very thrown together. You see wingless birds wearing suits, not too dissimilar to Atlas's, almost like long beaks with rebreathers on their back, big goggles on. And as one of them takes it off, you see these black, raven-like creatures as these kinku flog their wares from the surface. And you see some of them waving bricks for sale. Some of them wave what looks like branches, maybe, with the remnants of some kind of foliage on them, as they try to flog their salvage and scrap and anything they could find down there from the down underneath the smog that the most of the Aarakocra Island choose to stay above with their wings and their supremacy up here. The kobolds seem to have little to no choice, especially if they want to travel from city to city. As you take in the croak, this very much feels like a Fallout settlement, I would say, that kind of vibe. It's like making something of nothing. But I think the thing that stands out the most, closest to the needle itself, close to the spire, there is this quite large looking building, and where all the other ones are scrap metal and wood and, sheet metal and things like that can, help them, get by, keep it light. There is one building that almost like must have a good support structure, there must have a good foundation. It is a not large building, but it is kind of not too dissimilar to like a London terrace house, yet it kind of stands alone. And it is made primarily of stone, it looks like. Maybe a point of grandeur, perhaps. But above the door, you see the recognizable symbol of the Moreau family crest. And as the Moreaus step out of the shuttle that you've brought them down on, that appears to be the direction that they want to be heading pretty quickly.
Welcome to the club.
Suppose we'll... Guess we'll follow your folks for now.
And as the shuttle's open, you'll look. People start to come towards the shuttle. Aarakocra, Arlen, Kinku. About 10, 20, 40 of them all start moving towards it.
Not something you see here a lot.
You hear
They're
a
not gonna-
dong 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 on the far side of the shuttle, and you look over and a Kenku's like knocking on the metal.
Buy this good metal. Yes, good. We take it. What do you want? What do you want
Keep
for
your
this?
hands on anything you want to keep.
What do you want for this? Take it.
Not for sale.
Everything for sale.
No.
You want my wife, kids? I give anything.
No.
They're healthy,
Thank you.
strong, good for you.
No, thanks. Barrows,
You
close
see
the door.
some of them kind of like marvel at it more in like astonishment of like,
Could I have squeezed Tewa onto the...
no.
Okay,
And
that would've been so funny.
your family also would not have wanted to be in the same room as Tewa.
Ooh.
I mean,
Tewa would want like
credits for the shuttle, maybe, yes?
I'm scared to step onto the spider web like structure because I feel like not hollow bones going to break. If Tewa were here, definitely break.
Tewa's probably got at least some hollow bones. He flies.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works with him. I think it's just his, their general wingspan.
It's
and
fine to walk
power
on
of-
Cyrus. Only the edges collapse, and not that often. And anyway, the second you hit the smoke, you'd be dead. It wouldn't hurt. Like I said, people don't live through going through that.
Disembark from shuttle.
Disembark.
If a Kenku gets too close to you, throw a coin the other way. But only if they're getting right up in your face, because it's to give you time. They know you got money on you, then you're a target.
Right.
And don't talk to them too much. Words are like currency to Kenku, so if you talk a lot, they're gonna start following you even more. Start giving them too many words and...
Cyrus just like tightens the strap on his vorpal sword.
You start giving them too many words, they start getting
Creative.
One Kenku sees you, Cyrus, and is like, Master!
Is it what?
It is you. You have come for me. After all this time, you've come. I knew you. I told them that you would come for me.
Oh, he gets on his knees. He starts like praising your feet as you walk.
Lorian, it is you. You have come finally. What is it we can send for you?
What the fuck is he doing?
He thinks that you're a devil.
Well, he's technically not wrong, but he's...
He thinks that
he's
you're
called-
more important.
We have waited so long to send your message, Lorian. After the other gods cut our wings. Please, please. We did not mean... my forefathers. You cannot blame me for their faults. Their hubris. I will be good. Please, 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 please.
Tell him be gone.
Be gone
Ah!
from me.
Of course, if that is what you wish, Master.
And he scuttles back over, and they go back. And after some time of sort of being there, eventually the crowd does begin to disperse. The Kenku back to their stalls, and the Kenku are seemingly nuts.
Yeah, that's evident.
Most of the Arakokra and the
They're
island
just there to have a look.
are a bit more reserved. They're like looking. A few of them like speak in a language none of you speak apart from Atlas, and they say things like, "What do you think they're here for?" Like, well, the last time we saw things like this, it was never good, was it? And things like it's like lots of like. I hope that they leave as quick as they come.
Superstition.
Yeah.
And suspicion.
Yeah, you're not in a like celestial vessel. You're like a amalgamate vessel. So it's it might be the first time you've seen amalgamate stuff. You don't know. Yeah, definitely a bit of like morbid curiosity. Perhaps is maybe a slightly correct term, kind of the way they're treating it. Like you're a bit unsure and but they want to know.
Strangers from the outside. Ooh.
But yeah, as you begin making your way towards the Moreau household, that is where we're going to stop for tonight. And we'll see you all next time. Bye bye.